Live. It said go.
Woo!
5 seconds in.
Woo!
Welcome back to Lego and Connect, or welcome if this is your first time. I am Dominica May. I have been building Legos over or Lego sets over stream for a little while, publicly just a few weeks. I have Papi Zak returning with my last guest because I haven't streamed in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
I did try to find guests, but people were busy, so that's why I've not streamed in the last 2 weeks. But today we are going to be building the Bro Thor's new Asgard. So this is
Bro
what
Thor.
it's an interesting name for it. For me, I thought he was depressed Thor. Like that's how I would describe him.
Oh,
That's what he was when he was all fat and stuff. I did not like how he was portrayed as the butt of the jokes. That was like that part was the main part that I did not like from Endgame. Just I feel like we should be moving past fat jokes now, right? We should be like there was an opportunity there to go somewhere more to kind of explore depression in a more serious way, and they chose not to.
right. Understood. But
Mm-hmm.
okay. That's interesting how you saw him as the depressed Thor. I just I just thought it was just more like he let go Thor.
You commented on the stream.
Yeah,
I
the
forgot to
stream
be on
guy
mute.
came back too.
I also want to apologize to anyone who might be watching if there's occasionally the Lego camera goes crappy on us. I don't know what's wrong with it. It looks fine on my phone. Occasionally it'll go crappy, but hopefully it doesn't detract from too much. We do have some viewers now. You're welcome to comment and chat with us. Hopefully the comments will show up. Sometimes they don't. There were a couple of comments last time
Oh.
that didn't show up on Restream for some reason. I don't know why, because it's all public now.
My private chat is blocked.
Well, private chat is blocked with me. Maybe it's because I don't have the paid. I don't have the paid version of Restream.
Oh.
It looks locked for me too. I think maybe it's just the fact that I haven't paid for Restream. It wants me to upgrade, and it's like 31% off now because of Halloween.
Okay, but I don't know. Like, it seems to me like if you're do you have a time limit on restream?
No, there's no time limit.
Oh,
It's just
but
like
then
certain features you can't do.
that's weird. I think that.
Wait, is it locked? I can see.
Yeah.
Is it just because it's got a padlock?
Oh. Okay.
You can still type in there.
Okay.
I haven't used the
All right.
private.
See, I just thought because I
And
was clicking it and it wasn't doing
it wasn't
anything.
coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
Anyway.
okay. So before you get started, I
Yes.
also because last time we were talking about it, but I didn't get to show it to you. But
Oh yeah,
ta-da!
your Lego set that we were talking about.
Yo,
Your Millennium Falcon.
yes, and how appropriately so. Yeah. Did you like
Very
the
cool.
solo series?
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen? Are you not
Unless
a
you're
Star
talking
Wars
about
fan?
I've watched Mandalorian.
Everybody's watching Mandalorian, of course.
I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Okay.
I do have some like older Star Wars Lego sets from like the original trilogy. No, I think I have one from the prequel trilogy as well.
Ah.
What?
What are they?
I have uh, what's his name? Christopher Lee and Yoda. Um,
In the cave. In the
Christopher,
cave.
I don't even remember what his character's name was.
I'm
Christopher
Dooku.
Lee, on like a racer speeder kind of thing. It's been so long since I've seen the movies.
But you do have the set, do you not? Or
Yes. Yes, but I mean, I only know that I have this like that particular set because I got my old Lego sets out a few months ago and was looking through.
all
So,
right.
and then I have an Ewok set, and I have a Darth Vader, and Emperor Palpatine set. I think.
Um. Okay, sorry. No, I'm kind of distracted because I don't see my Han Solo and my
Oh,
Chewbacca's.
they ran away.
No. Where would they have gone?
It's like Toy Story. They've just up and wandered up.
Right? Where? Hmm. That's
It
weird.
it's it I when did you build it? How long ago did you build it?
I think it was the first lockdown.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, first
So it was like a
lockdown.
year and a half ago. So they easily could have wandered off somewhere else in that much time.
But I always put him in the cockpit, where he belongs.
Yeah, well, maybe they had some bounty hunting to do outside of outside of the ship.
Weird. All right. Okay. Continue.
Yep. All right. Should I get started on the building aspect?
Okay. Yes, I see you laid out your
My
your
pieces?
yeah.
Yeah. You can only see like the corner is like further out than than you can see.
So do you think you can get it done in one sitting?
Yes, because there's fewer pieces in this one than what we had for the Shang-Chi set. So it
Really?
will. Yes, there were only two bags in this set. And in the Shang-Chi set, I had three bags. So it will be easier. This Thor is drinking alcohol out of a bottle.
It's great.
See, depressed Thor. That's why.
He just thought he just let it. I didn't think. Okay, see, seriously, I didn't think he could gain weight because he's a god,
Hmm.
and that like all those times he was drinking his beer, like it didn't
Right.
affect
He
him.
he could drink a lot without having any issues.
Yeah. So I wonder like are these the questions like those nerds ask them like at Comic Cons and stuff? Like
Probably.
I thought I thought you were a god, so when you're a god, technically. Oh my god, Dom! Like I I don't know what's going on, but everything is falling apart.
Your whole Millennium Falcon is falling apart?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
No,
like
why?
everything I touch is just it's like breaking to pieces.
No. Oh no. Oh dear.
Oh my god.
I'm not
All
making
right,
this in the
so
right place for my camera. This is his non Mjolnir axe because he wasn't worthy anymore, right?
you mean
He lost his
Stormbreaker?
worthiness. Yes, this is Stormbreaker. Did I put this in the right way? I think it's upside down.
Where do I put this? Oh no.
Did you lose some more pieces?
No, it's like, after you put the pieces together, and then sometimes you don't know what goes where,
Mm.
and you're like,
I'm very disappointed at my other camera crapping out on me
oh,
like that all the time.
maybe you gotta hold it up, like, hey,
I'll just hold it up here. All right, here's Brothor.
bro, Thor.
No, I
What's
just have
up?
too many browser tabs open, and I probably need to restart Chrome. There's
Oh.
updates that it needs.
Hey, so I know Halloween is big in the States. How was your Halloween?
My younger son and I went trick or treating. Because it's the pandemic, there weren't as many houses offering candy as what we're used to. But we didn't
Really?
go trick or treating at all last year because of the pandemic. So,
Right,
it's
right,
an
right. Yeah,
improvement
yeah.
on that. Last year, instead of trick or treating, we did like a Halloween um, candy hunt. It's like an Easter egg hunt, but with Halloween candy.
Okay. So how did that work out?
It was good. Yeah. Both of my kids hunted
No, I
candy.
mean, like, how did the whole logistics of the Easter,
Oh, well, I mean, I normally hide Easter eggs, so it was just the same, but with Halloween candy. Like, it's easy.
like, all over the house? That's it?
All over the ground floor of my house. I have a two-story house,
Ah,
so it's like the living room, games room,
ooh,
kitchen kind of areas. Yeah,
I see.
I have a big house.
Yeah. So, okay. No neighborhood kids or like dressing up and stuff like that. No.
There were like, but they didn't come to our house because I didn't have any candy. So you kind of
Oh
have to. It,
no.
well, it's easy here to know which houses you can go to for the most part because people sit outside their houses with their candy bowls, and you just go up to them and
Let's
say
see.
trick or treat, and then they give you candy. So it's a
Now,
little easier than knocking on doors, especially for kids that feel nervous about knocking on doors. There are houses that you can knock on and they'll give you candy too, but um, not everyone likes to do that.
well, I guess. Oh, I was gonna say like you're. They probably labeled your house as like, oh, these guys don't have candy.
Well,
I'm like, hey,
I have previously had candy, but you know that was when I was still married and I had
hmm,
somebody that could hand out candy while I was out with my kid trick or treating.
right.
It's a bit hard to do both at the same time, right?
Is it hard? Is it hard to like, um, I don't know, like cater to kids? I guess wishes to dress up for Halloween. Like, did your kids go like, hey, I want to be, I want to be Peter Pan and Tinkerbell or something like that?
We just kind of like talk about what they want to be, and then um, we see if we can find a costume. If we can't find it, then we'll look for something else.
Okay. So,
Um,
is it okay if I ask what they were for Halloween?
well, my older kid does not do Halloween, so nothing. But my younger kid, we had a Harry Potter costume, and since we were kind of last minute, he decided to wear that instead. Well, he saw me. I don't know if you saw my pictures on Instagram yesterday of me in a witch's hat and with my palm
Yeah, I
branch
thought
that had fallen in my
since
yard.
since you
Yeah.
you took the time to dress up, I thought
Well, he took the so my 11-year-old took those pictures for me. and then he was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, I want to wear the witch's hat." And then so he was going to, but then he didn't wear that because we discovered that he
Oh.
could do the Harry Potter thing instead. So that's how it worked
um did you see any really great costumes out this week?
I wasn't really paying attention to other people's costumes.
Okay. Well, I
uh,
was like browsing through Instagram, and I mean, because I thought it was very clever because she was pregnant, right? So she
mhm.
had a big belly, and then she dressed up as Fat Thor.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, which I thought was like, hey, okay, make it work for you, girl. Yeah,
Well, that's appropriate for what I'm building now. How appropriate.
that's why.
That's why you thought of
and,
it.
and it was like how like Malaysian government can be about dressing up scantily,
Oh,
but
yes.
because it was Halloween, like I
It's
think they
allowed
were
for
very
Halloween.
flex. So it was like that one time of the year where like all you can see all these Muslim sluts come out. And they're like, it was like Halloween, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Wow. That's the only time
I
that you're
said,
allowed to,
I said it.
as a Muslim woman, dress up like that.
But
Okay.
I just don't get it seriously. Like, um, these there's I don't know. Okay, they dress up like, oh, I'm gonna be a sexy devil, or I'm gonna be a sexy nurse, and then they just like, hey, hello, you're missing the whole point of Halloween.
Because it's supposed to be scary.
Yeah,
And I mean, Malaysia has some good horror myths and legends, right? So there's a lot of opportunity for some
yeah, exactly, and they're
good
very
dressing up.
cheap. Yeah. But no, I want to show off my titties and my short
Look,
shorts.
look, if it's the only time of year that they feel like they're allowed to express themselves like that. Look, I don't know if I mean I don't know how much you see on my Facebook, but I did share some sexy Jigglypuff pictures yesterday for
Yes,
Halloween.
I saw, I saw.
um, Sim says hi. Let me put this up.
What's up,
Uh,
Sam?
from 4 years ago, I shared those pictures. That was my first
Mm.
time sharing them from 4 years. Because I was shy before, and now I just don't give a damn.
Did he say
That's
hi
my
on?
excuse.
Oh, he said hi on Twitch.
On Twitch, yeah. He follows
Oh.
me on Twitch. I was just making sure I didn't miss another message there.
Another viewer, yeah. What's up?
We've got 5 people viewing right now.
Oh, nice. So they're viewing you actually doing work. I'm just trying to restore my work without like I'm very careful about what I touch on my Millennium Falcon right now because it falls apart, and I'd be like, "Did that piece go in there?"
Sim's complaining about OBS compared to Restream. He didn't know that you can pull up the comments like this. Like, just use Restream instead. I know
Yeah,
you
it's
use.
it's not
I
it's
think
not very
he
common in
uses.
Malaysia. I don't know why. Huh?
I think he used Restream for something that I watched him do, but he was also using OBS with Restream. So I guess it pulled up
No.
differently. And he's asking if you're building Lego too. Zach is fixing Lego.
Yeah, I'm
Fixing Lego because
okay. I'm gonna be
it fell
very
apart
gentle.
in your hands. Right.
I was trying to show off like my. I think this you could say this like this was one of my biggest accomplishments during.
During the pandemic or ever? During the pandemic or ever?
Come on, come on. I said during the pandemic, but yeah. Um, mm, but yeah, I didn't think I would have the patience. Um,
It does take a long time to build some of these bigger sets. I just today ordered another big set because it was just released today and I didn't want to miss out and have to wait until they got it back in stock, although it is still currently available. But I ordered the Home Alone sets
oh,
because it looks
oh,
really
nice.
cool. And obviously, I'm a movie nerd.
Yeah, did you see they're remaking Home Alone?
Let's not talk about that.
Oh,
I don't. I
oh,
mean, I don't know anything about like what how it's being done. I just can't imagine it being remade today. Um,
but
yeah.
it's a more how you say uh woke.
Oh, is it?
It's a more woke. So like
I have not heard anything about it really, apart from the fact that they're making it. Sim asks which Millennium Falcon
oh
is it, or which movie is the your Millennium Falcon from?
yeah, it's the Force Awakens because as you can see, the satellite is square. If it was the original one, it would be the circle. Haha.
There you go.
Some people did not know. Oh no.
Man, I hate this. I'm clearly gonna have to reboot my computer or browser or whatever. Wait, I need to pull this comment up from Sim. A more woke movie about about hurting burglars. Yes, that's what the world needs.
Yeah. Hey, I know you went to see Ronnie Chang the other day.
Yes, I did.
Um, I told you like Jason Young is in
Yeah,
stateside.
yeah.
I think.
So I saw I'm because I follow Jason on Instagram, and I saw that he opened for Ronnie. I think like the day after Ronnie was here in San Francisco, and I was like, "What?" It's like that was
Oh
fun.
no!
But yeah, he seems to be getting a lot of shows and spots in.
Yeah, yeah. He's hustling it out there, you know.
And then it looked like he went to Washington D.C. as well.
Oh, that one I don't know.
He might not be performing there. He posted a picture of himself with the Washington Monument in the background from the view from the Lincoln Memorial. I know that place well because I have been been to DC multiple times.
Oh, okay. It's called Home Sweet Home Alone.
That's the name of the new movie.
That's the name of the new movie, and it's
Do
with
they have cell phones this time?
they have.
Sorry. I saw like a meme or something recently where they were like, you could never make a Home Alone movie now because it would end in 5 minutes because they'd just text or phone each other because of cell phones. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how they play it, I guess.
Okay, the reason I'm curious about it is it's got the kid from Jojo Rabbit in it.
Okay, I haven't seen
The
that.
You haven't seen Jojo Rabbit?
No, I know. There's a lot of stuff that I really I need to be watching, and I know that's one of them. Sim says that he has the same Millennium Falcon set as you, or rather, his son has the same set.
Ah, wow.
Um,
Max is
and,
sure is a lucky kid.
and now Sim's wondering if they can lure Macaulay back to do a cameo. They should.
Why not, right?
He probably
Like, just
still looks like a child, right? He's got that baby face.
he doesn't.
He
He's like
doesn't?
all matured now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he's with what's that cute Asian girl? Brenda Song. Are you familiar with the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody or something like that?
Nope. I have not heard of
Uh,
this.
okay, so there's like it's a Disney series, so she's from a Disney background. But yeah, she's really cute. Oh, did you watch the Social Network?
Yes,
She
I did
was
watch that.
that psycho girlfriend of Andrew Garfield, the one that
Okay.
thought that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought you were a big movie buff, Dom.
Look, it like so my memory, I think I mentioned this last time. My memory for like movies and stuff has kind of crapped out of me. I used to be able to remember stuff like crazy. Yeah, Sim's commenting on my Lego camera being stupid. I know. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it right now. At some point I will reboot my browser and close a bunch of tabs. I'm hoping that's the reason why, because it looks fine on my phone. I don't know.
Fix it up this way. Fix it up this way.
And Sim also says that Macaulay looks like Macaulay's grandfather now. He's not that old. Surely he doesn't look that old. Like he must be
Actually,
like
interesting
around.
fact: we're both the same age.
Right, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Like he's a little bit older than me, and I'm 37. I'm almost 38, and I do not look like a grandmother. So maybe he just aged really
especially
poorly.
with especially with those Halloween pictures of yours.
Well, those are 4 years old. Okay, those ones. Although even my witchy ones, I don't look like a grandmother. Anyway, moving on. That was for filtered Facebook friends, and not for everyone. I'm not going to be bringing up on the stream for everyone to see me in
Oh no,
lingerie.
no, no. Wait, I'm
Maybe
trying to
maybe
see.
someone will convince me later. We'll see.
Hey. Um,
I used to not think I was sexy. And even when I had photos like that taken, I'm just like, I don't feel like this is something I can share with people.
mm. So okay, what when did the courage kick in and then like say, oh, yeah,
It was a spur of the moment thing yesterday. I'm just like, why not? Let's give it a shot.
and the response was very positive. No, no.
Yeah, I mean, and I figured that would be the case. I think it's more like I worry about the potential of certain creepers or certain, I don't want to say creepers, certain people commenting to me that I maybe don't want to hear from.
Right, right, right.
About what images like that might make them do or think. Like just because I share an image like that doesn't mean I want to know a guy's masturbatory thoughts.
Wrong. Okay. Maybe okay. Maybe is that something you're comfortable talking about? Like when you pose very
Sexily.
sexy, like yes, very sexy like that, right? Um,
Right.
what is the purpose, or
The
what is
purpose.
what
Uh,
is the reason, or
right. Well, that's why I didn't share it for 4 years, right? Because I didn't want
mm,
to give people the wrong impression.
mm,
um, it for me, it's about empowerment. Like, so part of the reason I shared it when I did was also the long commentary that I made about it. Like, I wrote a long post about
mm,
um, how I've changed in the last 4 years and things that held me back and that sort of thing. I I don't mind people appreciating me. Obviously, I wouldn't share something like that if I did have a problem with it.
mm.
But uh, it doesn't necessarily mean that I want to hear from everyone who appreciates the pictures. Or like it needs to be in a certain kind of way. Like you can appreciate it without uh being like, hey, I'm gonna jack off to your pictures now because they were really hot. Like there's a way of appreciating it without saying specifically that. Even if that's what you're doing, you don't have to say that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. Okay. But I mean, you do realize there are guys out there who's just like
Of course.
hand on the
No,
trigger, just
of
just
course,
just
of
waiting for that one picture.
Of
Uh,
course, I know that. Look, I've posted. I had previously posted that I had had these pictures taken, and as a result of that, did have someone reach out to me and say privately, "Hey, can you send me the pictures privately?" And there are certain people that I might be like, "Yeah, sure," and I've done that. But it really depends. It depends who it is. Okay. Like, I'm not okay with everyone doing it.
oh,
So,
okay.
let's have a look at some of Sim's comments. So Sim's, uh, let's see. Let me pull it up. I'm glad your journey took you to SF, where you could find your people and be who you are. Yeah. I think that if I'd stayed in Malaysia, I probably could have gotten to that point as well, eventually.
Mm,
But it's a lot easier in San Francisco because it's not as conservative, right?
mm. Uh,
Um, I did feel a little constrained, uh, or I felt like I should be holding back some of my sexuality side of things in Malaysia because people seemed uncomfortable with the fact that I openly talked about being in a polyamorous marriage, and I think
mhm.
that made some people uncomfortable.
But I guess, well, it's kind of like hypocritical in some ways, right? Because, um, hey, Sim wants to come in for a couple of minutes. Can we add him? Can we
Yes,
add him?
yes. Sim, do you still have the link, or do I need to send it to you?
As your Lego camera goes out.
I can send him the link if he doesn't still have it. I just need to. Wait, I still have it pasted, like in my clipboard.
Hi, her.
Uh, where is he in my in my Facebook chat? I have too many things open. Really, really do. Oh, there he is. Wait.
Yeah. Are you like one of those people? Like, okay, I give
What?
my sister a lot of crap for this, right? Basically, when I try to borrow her laptop, she has all these files just like up on the desktop, just scattered everywhere. I said, I thought girls were more organized you know.
I'm autistic, so I have a lot of stuff around. Um, my friend Mithra is asking what's in my mug.
Vodka.
I'm drinking from an X-Men mug that my ex-husband, it belonged to him before I met him, and he left it behind, and I have no idea why. I guess because he's not a Marvel person. I don't know. So I got to keep the X-Men mug that was his from
But
before
how
he met me.
appropriate is that?
It was great. I think Sim's coming in. What's in the mug? This is Tay Turek. Did you know I could
Oh,
get Tay
okay.
Turek here, Zach?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him! Look at him and his new haircut.
That's right.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can because I've turned you on.
Okay, cool.
Hi,
So
what's
I'm
up,
the
bro?
only one not building any Lego. How's it going? How's it going?
Did you finish?
Hey, how was your
fixing
show?
Lego?
How was your show, Zach?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
had a
The one
huge
at
show over the
Wanitama.
weekend.
It was really really amazing. I have to say, it just reignited the fire in my loins.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
like
And the theater, do you like the theater?
yeah. Oh my god, the people there are great. They're very they add like a personal touch. Or like they come to the dressing room, ask how we're doing and stuff, and then they say like,
Right,
okay,
right.
what specifically do you need? And then even like the backstage crew was like on point,
Yeah.
because I think like for the first time, like in like is a nice theater, like every performer had their own mic. So we're like, what?
Oh, okay.
We don't have
Right.
to
You don't have
share?
to
What?
like put it back and then like the next one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So then,
Although
and it was-
we are so used to it, it's like part of our ritual now, right? It's
yeah,
like
it's like
if you don't have to do it, you kind of feel like this is a bit weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they're spoiling us over there. It's just like
Yeah.
full on first class treatment, and then every mic is tuned to like your personal settings. Sound check was great.
Yeah.
Because one of our performers, Steven, he's a singer, so he breaks into song and then does a little bit of comedy and then leads into another song, and he's trying to get the right like I guess settings, so that he's like, oh, can I get more reverb? Oh yeah, can I get more bass?
Right.
So
Yeah.
he's sounding like Eminem in that sound booth, trying to get the perfect
Right, and he has a talking segment and a singing segment, or is it all singing? I'm sure he has to talk as well.
He has both. Yeah. He has both.
So he has to like reduce the reverb when he's talking, and then more reverb when he's
exactly.
singing, and all that, right? Yeah. That's
It was
amazing.
I think he really had a great time. It was just like his own like mini concert and everything, with that.
Oh yeah,
that size of an audience. So
because I know Joanne and BB sings as well, but like Steven has really got this voice, so it's yeah.
So check him out on Stephen Bones Everything on YouTube if you want to see some of the parodies. It's very local based,
and on Twitch as well. He streams on Twitch as well.
Oh yes, but he plays video games on Twitch.
Yes,
Does he not?
On Twitch he plays video games. Yeah, it's fun. His game streams are fun. He does all the voices. When he's a cowboy, he's a cowboy. When he's when he's a Frenchman, he's a Frenchman. He just does all the accents. So it's fun. He makes it fun.
He's responsible for taking like half of my voiceover jobs.
Oh
no. Yeah, you guys are both voiceover.
Yeah. So that's but yeah, everybody had a great time. I think Saturday night we sold out. It was just it was a packed house, despite being
what was the audience size like with the? I'm guessing there was social distancing and stuff still.
Yeah. So it was like every other seat. Even if you were a couple, you're sitting in every other seat.
Oh wow! So the couple's gonna sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
All that space, freedom.
No, because they can't tell who's from the same house and
Right.
who's
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
different
Yeah. No,
bubble.
that's
So they
fair.
just like everybody separate. Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, the way that the movie theater, well, my local movie theater does it here is like you buy your tickets and then they grey out the seats on either side of you, so you can sit together. Like if you buy your tickets together, but the seats on
Oh,
either side of the
Oh,
group
okay.
get
but I remember
We haven't figured out that technology. We haven't figured out
Malaysia's behind.
that method yet. Yeah.
in the
Fair.
States, isn't it just like free seating, like first come first serve kind of deal?
It used to be, but now it's reserved seating. Like they have, I don't know if that's
Numbered
the
seats
case
and
at
stuff.
every movie theater, but there are, at least where I go, the seat numbers and stuff, and you get to book your tickets in advance and everything. So
I
I have taken the habit of buying my tickets in advance, getting like, if possible, the middle back row seat because I like my. It's probably stupid, but I'm just like, I don't want anyone breathing on me. So what's the back
right.
row?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't want anyone breathing on me.
Like, I don't know that it matters that much. I mean, if COVID's in the air, it's gonna like go everywhere anyway, right? But I'm just like,
It is. Yeah,
everyone's facing
but
one direction. Let the COVID germs go that way.
yeah,
For me, it's
go
like
past my head. Yeah.
I wish that the two cinema, like, okay, like I wish we could get American cinema seating here in Malaysia, so then I don't have to spend the extra on a couple seat to get my own, like,
Yeah.
space. And I wish in the US they have number seatings, so then I wouldn't have to wait like an hour early just to get a good seat in the cinema.
Yeah, that's a hassle, right?
It's
Um,
that's how you like
Come
make
to
enemies.
California, Zach.
No,
Like I said, it's a reserved seating.
Yeah.
I went to see The French Dispatch on Saturday night, and I bought my ticket in advance. And then I invited a friend, and he bought a ticket, which had to be like, I told him where my seat was, and he had to buy the seat that was like not next to me because that was blanked out. He had to get the next one next to it, so we could still sit together.
Right.
Okay.
For quite a while, I got the impression that California had stricter, like, what do you call it, social distancing measures, and also, well, COVID measures. You're more careful in California. So, like,
Yes.
I saw that a lot of my performing friends left California. Like they
Oh,
left San Francisco, they left LA, they went to Las Vegas, they went to Austin, Texas, just to get more jobs and survive. I think because for a while their shows were like hard to do in California. Is it still like
yeah.
that now?
No. Did you see my pictures of when I went to Punchline and Ronnie Cheng last
Oh, right.
right. I think it was
Yeah,
last
yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah, there was like, it's really all cramped up everywhere,
Right.
next to everyone. So yeah, no, that's not the case anymore. I mean, it depends on what theater you go to, I guess, but
How would
they are very strictly checking vaccination cards. So it takes
okay,
forever to get into a place
yeah,
that seats like 3,000 people, like the Ronnie Cheng show I
right.
went to. That was a 3,400 seat theater.
Yeah.
And it took forever to get in because they have to check every single person's vaccination card, and they check it against your driver's license or ID or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's
Hey,
very
so
strict.
So no borrowing your friend's phone. Is that what it is? That the idea?
Yes, you can't borrow somebody else's vax card because they will check it against your ID.
Right. Oh, right.
hey,
Like, it's a
so
card.
how does it work?
Ours is on the phone. Yeah.
How does
Sorry.
what work?
How does it work? Like, say when like if I go to San Francisco and then I have to prove that, hey, I'm vaccinated. Can my Malaysian app be like certified?
They would. I don't know how that works yet. They haven't really. I think it would probably be fine as long as you have like a vaccine card from Malaysia, they would probably want to have the physical copy though.
We haven't
But I
thought
don't know.
that far yet. I
don't
think,
I don't
yeah.
know. Like supposedly we're opening our borders like this month for people to come in from
Right.
internationally, but I don't know that they've really
Yeah. Imagine that it's like immigration will let you in. You can't go to a theater. You can't go to any restaurants. You can't go anywhere because like nobody else recognizes your MYS
Well,
Jatra, right?
it's just San Francisco that does it. Like the rest of the Bay Area, for the most part, I don't think has the same vaccination policy, like for checking. Like I don't have to show my vaccine card to go to the movie theater here. In like
Oh.
where
It's
where
only
I
for the
live.
rich people.
Yeah, sure.
Los,
But,
it's
like,
for the Los Techies. Yeah.
right, exactly. Yeah. I don't know why it's just San Francisco. I suspect at some point it's going to be more across the board.
Yeah.
I know that they are introducing or will be introducing mandatory vaccines for school students.
That's gonna be a battle, right?
So,
Because like the
well,
number
we'll
of
see.
anti-vax people. I mean, we it's kind of tough over here as well, and I kind of understand like the freedom aspect of it because until this pandemic, I've always been like, yeah, down with the man, right? Stick it to the man. Yeah, they're always trying to take your freedom. And now I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe we should just all stick together and get vaccinated.
Right.
And it's so not me, right? But yeah, listen to the man. Please listen to the man.
Oh, look, I'm making a keg.
Why do
Cake.
you? Why?
Wait,
Put it
what
up,
are
put
you?
it up.
What are you building? What set is this?
This is the Bro Thor, Bro
Oh,
Thor's new
Bro Thor's
Asgard.
new Asgard.
Yeah.
The Bro Thor is the dad bot Thor, right? Is that
It's Fat Thor, fat depressed Thor.
fat Thor? Yeah.
That one.
He has a It's a dad
It
bod
seems-
without being a dad. It's like a bad deal.
Are
Well,
you-
he's a dad in the comics, or at least he's a
Oh,
grandfather
okay.
in the
Right.
comics.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
he's
read
the
him as a
dad in God of
grandfather.
War.
I don't know his children, but I know his grandchildren.
He had kids with Queen Amidala. What's her name? What's her
Natalie
name
Portman.
already? Natalie Portman.
Jane.
Well, I mean,
Jane.
technically, Marvel does
Jane.
publish those Star Wars comic books, so they could have crossover if they wanted to.
Wouldn't that just be messed up?
It would
That
be
would be
messed
so messed up. It's like when you watch 2 movies in a row. You do a movie marathon. You watch 2 movies in a row with the same actor. You're like, wait a minute, I thought he died. You know.
Right.
So how are the shows with that you watch with Ronnie and Shang? Those were 2 shows you watch on the same day.
Yes. I felt like I was at a comedy festival again. It's been so long since I've been
Awesome.
to a comedy festival. But I went
But
to
she
different...
didn't stay to the end.
No, I left as Ronnie was saying goodbye.
Tell your auntie reason.
My auntie reason. Because otherwise I would have missed the last train back, and I didn't want to pay an extra $50 to get home.
Oh yeah, that's a valid reason because you missing the last train is a real pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
It's look, it was $4.20 for the train versus $55 to $77 for catching Lyft.
It's
Yeah,
it's not like a wait.
How is that possible? By the way, that's like
prices-
$200 ride.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's because as the prices have gone up because of the pandemic. They've also gone up because of so in the election last year, Lyft and Uber pushed through, they convinced people to vote this thing through that meant that they had to pay their drivers more, but not like have proper employee benefits that most employees get. And that increased the prices. I think there's probably less drivers now because of the pandemic as well, and prices have just gone up. I guess there's like more demand. Like there's the nights there are more demand, it's more expensive, and they've just changed a lot of the way that it works.
Oh,
It
What
basically
happened to the?
it seems like it seems like um what was I going to say? It's my train of thought. It seems like you could get a taxi for the same price that it costs to get a lift
right.
now.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
gonna
okay.
ask like, well, where are the cat like the local
You can still
cabs?
get taxis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, Mitra. I've met
Mi-
Mitra,
Mi-
right?
yes. Mithra
Yeah. Hi,
popped
Mitra.
in for one of our streams where you were my main guest, and then she was chatting with us. And
Yeah, she's awesome.
yes, Mithra Jane Foster does become Thor. So,
Right.
wait, did you guys say that? Or did I miss that part of the conversation? Were you guys talking about
No,
that?
no. About Jane Foster becoming Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that you just mentioned that, but I vaguely remember this being like, oh, it's in the comics, so it's gonna come to the movies. It was one of those questions. Yeah.
And now it is in the next.
Now it is. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that Love and Thunder. That's what's happening in Love and Thunder.
Oh, okay, cool.
Love and thunder.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
awesome.
Natalie Portman is going to be the next
Yeah,
Thor, which
I
is
love Natalie
interesting,
Portman.
right? Because it seemed like she didn't want to have anything
Even
to
though I
do
don't
with
remember
the
her name.
movies.
Yeah. Hey Zach, you okay, so you are out and about now. Are you like staying up late, going to Mama's or anything like that? Or
Not so much. Usually, like if we're done early at the crack house, then I'll just hang out with the boys. But
yeah.
other than that, I'm not really staying out if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
Okay.
yeah. Why?
No, we were talking about like missing the last train and things like that, right? But then of course over here it's not such a big deal because Grab is so cheap, right? But
Right.
like back when we were hanging out more, like basically before the pandemic, lah, and then you would hang out with us sometimes until 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Oh yeah.
But then you don't drive a car, so am I revealing too much here?
You're
You don't drive
talking
a car,
about
so
Zach.
you need to get a Grab or a ride back. Is it hard to find a Grab car
These
at
days,
those
not
hours?
so much. Yeah, not so much.
Or these days it's easier.
Yeah. But like maybe like the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour can be a little harder to get
Right.
unless you do that, advanced booking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
No, it's pretty standard. They have like their rush hour period, like from 6 to 10 in the morning, and then like
Right.
from 8 to 10.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Because it's like if it's rush hour and they have to do it, then yeah, you pay them extra. That's fine. Whereas if it's like 3 a.m. and you have to pay extra, that's not because they have to. I don't know. It is more difficult because they have to stay up, or it's an odd hour for a person to be up. But apart from that, it's kind of like it feels like if they charge extra, it's kind of like they're holding you ransom, right? It's like you need a ride.
Yep.
Pay me more money, which is kind of a very taxi driver thing to do, right?
Mitra's asking where everyone's from. Mitra, Zach and Sim are both friends of mine from Malaysia. So,
Malaysia.
If you want more specifics, I don't know. Probably not.
Well, what kind of specifics would you like to know?
Are you in KL? Are you in PJ with Suva?
Zach
she's not gonna know.
Zach is Zach and I are both technically Kuala Lumpur, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's time to build Korg and Mike.
I think that's as far as I'll go to docs, my friend. It's a
You don't want to be
you
more
got you got to be
specific than
careful what you got to be
no,
careful
that's
what you're
true.
revealing.
So, yeah,
Even that might
don't
be too
dox
much for some
yourself.
people.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I kind of doxed myself last time with Zach because he was asking what are like some restaurants and stuff that I recommend. And I was
Oh,
like
right,
talking
right.
about
Yeah.
stuff
If
in
you
my neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ish,
because
ish.
in the U.S. It's like notorious for restaurants to like have the biggest burrito or like all you can eat sushi, that kind of places, right? So I'm just curious if San Francisco has any of those like perks. And apparently you got like down the road you have just one of the biggest burritos ever.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Um, I went to a great Louisiana Cajun restaurant today. I'd never been there before. I just happened to be in the neighborhood, and it was amazing. I had a catfish and shrimp po' boy, which is like a sub
yes, I
sandwich.
know what a po' boy is. Okay, for
Okay,
Sim.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Just there might be people watching who don't know what a po' boy
wait. What's a
is.
poor boy already? I vaguely remember this.
It's like a sub sandwich.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
usually it's a shrimp base, like like mayo shrimp kind of
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
right. Okay. Shrimp base. I'm kind of with you, Zach, in that I miss a good burrito as well. And
Mm.
like it's been years. No, not really. It's been years. Yeah, actually, it's been years because it was pre-pandemic, right? Since I had one, and then before that, I really had not had one in years, right? And then me and my wife were in Iran, and we saw these two young men order this thing that was kind of like it's kind of like a like 6 course thing. It's like comes with a bowl and then like a smashing bowl with a that smasher and things like that. And then it comes with a soup and then it comes with a wrap. And basically we saw them do this and that with the wrap, and then they had to pour the soup into this other bowl. They have to kind of drain the soup, and then the rest of the residue from the soup they put it was like a paste, and then they had to put it into um, yeah, beans and other stuff in it, and then they have to put it with a wrap. So they wrap that, and basically what you end up with is like, how do you pronounce it? Minestrone soup. I don't know if that's the
Mm.
correct pronunciation, and a
Yeah,
burrito.
no.
And I was like, I'm ordering that because I haven't had a burrito in like 15 years or something like that. Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's great.
it was called it was called dizzy in Iran. That thing was called dizzy. So I had that quite a few times.
Mitra asked for the name of the
Oh, you gotta
restaurant
dox
that I
yourself
went to.
again.
No, this one's fine because I don't live near there. It was called Brenda's Oakland. I think there's a Brenda's in San Francisco as well because I
Brenda's just
looked
down
it
the
up on
street from
Facebook.
Dom's.
It's not. No, it's near. It's near the Kaiser Hospital in Oakland.
Awesome.
So, in the kind of near Piedmont, so the northern part of Oakland. I don't live near there, so it's not doxing myself. I'm publicly open about living in Oakland. Okay, like that's not a
I-
big deal.
I worry about what we leave on the internet. It's like if someone really wants to stalk you and goes like if they really have the time to just go through all your stuff, they know who your kid is, what your kid's name is, where he goes to school.
That's why I
yeah.
don't post things about my children publicly on the internet.
I think I'm kind of
Anymore.
beyond that
I
now
might have
because
done in
like
the past.
my wife has posted so much. It's like if you're a kidnapper, basically you know where to go, what to say.
Right. So this was the reason why I was glad I was in Malaysia before, because most of those crazy people that would do stuff like that, I felt like were in the US, and now I'm in the US and I was like, don't know.
and
Uh,
and it's like like your credit card, right? If they want to prove that you have to
Mhm.
give like your mom's maiden name, and it's like on
It's very
Facebook, it's
easy
like
to
here's a picture of me and my mom, Brenda.
right. Right. Yeah, exactly. That's why I have two-factor authentication on stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not easy for people to hack me.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Although with that, I worry as well because it's like with the two-factor authentication, you need the phone, right? Basically, you need the phone to prove.
Yeah.
And then it's like whoever gets my phone gets to be me. I
Right. No,
feel that.
exactly. And but and phone numbers can be spoofed and stuff as well. So it is still possible. But you have to know what you're doing. Like Mithra
Yeah.
wants to know more about doxing oneself.
What's doxing again?
Doxing
Doxing
is like
is
revealing personal information so that you can like stalk the person. So like address, phone number,
yeah.
that sort of thing.
It's
Oh,
really vicious when like you find that somebody like you want to cancel someone and then it's like sometimes people do that.
yeah.
It's like, okay, we
How do
found out
they
who this
find it?
person is who did this hideous thing or shouted at this person or something, and then they're like, okay, she lives here, she works here, and then she loses her job. It's really like way
Like
over reaction. Yeah.
that lady who refused to wear a mask in
Yeah. Yeah.
KLCC. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I mean,
it
it's
just took like netizen about maybe half a day just to find out who she was.
really they doxed her.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
that's I mean that's
Yeah.
how they reported her to the police.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yars. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
she's gonna be in some pain now because
yeah,
the doxing can really get real out of control
Oh
because like
yeah,
people,
it can be really bad.
yeah,
People lose their jobs. I mean, you shouldn't be saying shit on the internet that that
yeah,
would cause you to lose your job anyway. But be a decent person. You don't have to worry about stuff like that. But I mean, one of the reasons why I had been reluctant to do things like this in a more public fashion like this is because I worried about
you have
creepers
a job.
and stuff like that. No, I'm not concerned. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
My job is good. I'm pretty sure they'll
mm,
be fine because I don't talk like as long as I don't say anything that I'm not supposed to say about my work
Right, right, right,
stuff. I'm
right,
sure
right,
it's
right.
fine because I'm not like representing them or whatever. They knew I had a blog, when they hired me and stuff, and I have shared some pretty personal stuff on there. So they could have dug up stuff on me. It would have been, whatever. They still hired me. But I'd been more concerned about creepers that might want to say things.
Yeah, yeah,
But for me, I think I feel relatively safe. I wouldn't have felt as much so if I was still married because there are a lot of people like my ex-husband. Someone tried to dox him when we were still together, and I was pissed. Right, I was really pissed about that.
right.
But then we split up, and hopefully I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I have
mm.
noticed like some of the people
Is it
that
because he offended someone, or is it because someone
he
didn't like
says
you,
some
or
he says some kind of controversial stuff online that
oh,
a lot of
okay,
people
all
don't
right,
like. And yeah, so that's why I don't want to go into a lot of detail about that because
right,
he's not an
yeah,
interesting person. I'm not
Well,
interested in talking about him, right? But yeah, so like I have noticed there have been occasions that people who have been trying to stalk him online have come across my stuff, but fortunately they've not like said anything to me. I've just noticed when I've had like an uptick of hits sometimes on my blog or whatever, and it's clearly that they've found my blog because his name was still there on a page somewhere, and they've Googled him. However many pages they've gone through to find his page, like
wow,
it's so
yeah,
um yeah.
yeah. That is the yeah no, that's the interesting thing as well. It's like it's not that it's impossible to find some information about someone. It's just that the amount of things you have to go through to find it. Right?
It's a
It's
lot.
like, oh my God, another photo of your lunch. I don't need this, Just give me your address, It's like just make it.
I was
But,
going to
I
say
think
something that I'd been
that's our
doxing
defense.
myself. Okay.
Yeah. That's our defense. Just put a lot of useless information about ourselves online.
Well, I think that
But-
was part of my reasoning for sharing the pictures of me and sexy Jigglypuff yesterday, because I'm like, these were pictures that my ex-husband took of me, and like I know he has a lot of, he probably, who knows, maybe he's deleted them because he hates me so much, but I know that he had access to a lot of pictures of me, so it's possible that those pictures are out there anyway. Because he would share things without my consent. So,
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
fingers crossed. Who knows?
But it's scary, like how some people have, like, face recognition,
Mm.
like face recognition, like programs. So you just like say, hey, look for this person, and then they can find it in like within minutes.
Right, there are image searches, image search engines and stuff.
Crazy. Sometimes I miss the old days where you just like have a flip phone and
Right. No,
Yeah.
but speaking of that, I did recently notice that someone came across my blog website through one of those image searches. I'm like, what image were they looking for?
yeah.
Wow.
What image did they find that led them to my website? Who is
Wow.
this that's like stalking someone that's clearly in an image?
This-
Were they looking for me, or were they looking for somebody else who's like in a picture that I have on my blog? I don't know.
Oh, okay. The stalking technology is definitely very advanced now.
It's advanced.
The other day I was talking to Si Ming, and I was like, I was scrolling through my Facebook, right? And then Lazada ad came on, and Lazada was like, hey, do you want to buy 3 movies of Amy Yip? And Amy Yip is this actress that's kind of in dodgy movies in Hong Kong last time, and she's got huge knockers. And
So by dodgy, do you mean pornos?
Maybe
kinda,
softcore.
I think she would. Okay, I don't remember, but I'm probably accusing her wrongly here. But
Okay.
Please do
it
share
wouldn't
the link.
surprise me if I found out that she was in some softcore stuff. Let's say. Okay.
Okay.
That is my opinion of her. Okay, I could be wrong. But yeah, but a lot of actresses, as they were when they were not famous and they were trying to be famous, would have been as well, I think. And
Is the rite of passage?
yeah, in Hong Kong anyway. And so so I was like, how did this get on my Lazada feed? Like, why does Lazada all of a sudden think I'm into Amy Yip movies? And then my wife said, oh, because you commented on my breast the other day. Because she was trying to fit into a sari, and I'm like, you bought one size too small, like you should have bought something bigger because your breasts are bursting out of it. And so I said that, and my wife thinks that my phone like was overheard, not overheard, eavesdropping on me, right? And
Right.
and so I was like, okay, let's try an experiment. And I said, okay. So I spoke into my phone while my Facebook app was on. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I was like, I am looking for a DJI drone. I wonder what is a good DJI drone to buy. And you know what? The next time an ad showed up on Facebook, a Lazada app, it was a DJI drone. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, this thing is listening
Oh,
to
wow.
me.
It does. It seems like that. I read though that supposedly that doesn't actually happen. Who knows? But I read that these like ad companies and stuff, they they see who you hang out with, and they make recommendations based on what your friends are interested in as well. So maybe you just have like friends that you hang out with that are looking at
No, but
stuff
the timing of it though, yeah, okay, I don't have a lot of friends who are into the drone stuff. There would be times when I go and once in a while I'll be like, maybe it's time to buy a drone, and then I'll go and watch some YouTube videos on it, and then some ads will come up. But I hadn't done that in like years, and I hadn't seen an ad for drones in years. And then after I said that, the next day it showed up, and then my of course Seeming was having fun with it. And then she started speaking loudly, "Hey, we're looking for penis rings. Looking for penis rings." And she was like,
Your wife is
"Anal
hilarious.
beads," and I'm like, come on, stop it.
You know, just to let you know, I was looking up Amy Yip just now, and then it came up Amy Yip Boba. So
Did she have a
and
boba restaurant?
no. Listen to this. Amy Yip
Boba, wait,
Wikipedia.
boba with one B or two B's? I mean, one
one
O
B.
or two O's?
One O.
One O. One
Yeah.
O. Boba. Okay, like boba
So
tea.
Amy Yip on Wikipedia says one of the nicknames for her, Boba, which means champion of breasts.
Oh wait, yes. Yes. I remember this. It's a Hong Kong thing. It's like if you have big boobs, they call you boba. It's
Boba.
this is like decades before boba tea was a term. You know, it's independent. It's independent of each other. Yeah. Because
Wait. So
the
does that
bowl-
mean that boba tea is like tea with breast, like little breasts?
no. It's just happens to have the same English spelling, but I think it's
Yeah.
different things. The one with about the breast is that's a crazy story. Sim. I gotta go. Good hanging out with good convo. Love the conspiracy theories. See you, Mitra.
Bye, Mitra.
Bye. How's
No,
the
the boba.
how's-
Yeah.
How's
No,
the
was
Lego
it?
going? My phone camera has clearly not come back on again because it's really crap. It's like I'm looking at it, I'm like, you're just not going to work again.
maybe you should close
um,
down all those other apps that you have opened up.
That's,
Yeah,
you know,
just-
maybe.
yeah. And then restart. and then
Maybe I'll just like close the entire thing. I can reopen again. Reopen all these things that I
Yeah,
just.
that might work.
But
Or off and on the camera. Man.
have you tried switching on and off your?
I'll
Yes.
exit from here
Best tech support
and
ever.
see if I can get back in without moving the camera.
Yeah, but what's the progress so far?
I'm like this far in.
Oh, you're frozen. Great.
Oh, every time a Lego appears, the camera dies.
Oh, I'm
uh,
frozen by myself as well. Can you hear me?
I can
Yes,
hear,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear you, but you're
You
still.
just can't see
frozen.
me.
Okay, now you're good.
Okay, I closed an entire browser window, and I'm pulling
okay.
up my stream again.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that!
It works.
Oh,
It
look at
works.
that! Everything is
Oh
clear.
man, who are those two? Who are those two figures?
These guys,
Korg.
Thor and
Thor and Korg.
Korg,
Is it Korg?
and Mike.
Korg.
See,
Korg
Mike as
is Taika
Waititi.
Waititi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see in the.
Did you know him before he got famous in Hollywood?
No, I did not.
No.
Yeah.
I love some of his old movies. I went back and watched some of his older movies. The Hunt for the Wilder People. That was a great one.
with Sam Neill. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows.
That one I'd seen, but I think I saw that after I'd seen the Thor movie that he made.
Yeah, I put it aside. If you if you didn't see me earlier, I was just like, I'm not messing with this anymore. Just
Oh, okay.
delicately put aside.
Yeah,
Is it too
it
hard to
does.
do while you're streaming with me?
It does. It does require some brain. I think if you're building it, you can just follow the instructions. If you're fixing it, you kind of have to go and
Yeah,
really
you
put
like
some
Yeah.
thought
you.
into it.
It's
Yep.
like, where
Yep.
does this piece go? I don't remember it being like that.
It's like when I moved my Daily Bugle set from downstairs up to here, and like I tried to lift it up and it toppled over. I had to repair
Oh no!
it. I brought it up in pieces
Oh
and I put it back together.
no!
Fortunately, I didn't like snap any pieces that were like that I couldn't put back together or anything. So it worked out.
Sim, did you know that Daily Bugle set is going for 3,000 ringgit?
What?
Is
Yeah,
it
it's quite
is it
expensive.
like that's the original price, or is it because it just like
I
you
think
can't
it's the
find it
in
anymore? And
demand thing
right,
because it's
right,
hard to
right.
get hold of. I saw in one of my, because I'm still part of Malaysia Facebook groups, I saw in one of the groups that I'm part of that the Lego Pride set, the rainbow figures that are all lined up, it was going for like 250 ringgit or something like that, and they were like, "Oh, it's less than what it was before, but it's still more than like the retail price."
Right.
That-
I'm trying to host the stream, but I'm not sure why it's not working.
I'm just trying to
Dominica
find
May.
the logic behind, like, why is Lego expensive? It's just bricks. Do they?
Because of the
It's
quality of the bricks. Like
no,
it's
it's quite
durable.
amazing.
Durable.
Yeah, it's quite amazing because I think they kind of like their copyrights for the shape has run out, and then other companies started coming up of the woodworks copying them, but
Oh,
they somehow are not able to copy to the same quality somehow. And so Lego
Correct.
has somehow, like, you would think this is a thing that's just like one of the easiest thing for people to come into the market and kind of dilute your share, right?
right.
But they have been able to hang on to it.
Well, I think part of it is also like, I mean, they have to license the copyrighted things, like, you know, the Home Alone set that was just released today, all of the Marvel stuff. I mean, they have to pay royalties to the companies that these things are from. So
Yeah.
I'm sure some of the cost goes to that.
I guess. But okay, this is just showing my age here. But back in the day, when they had the pirate and the castle sets, I remember they were going for like 200, 300 ringgit. So I was like, and even then was just like, I was like, hey man, can I have this? Like, well, you better save up on your Raya money. I was like, but now you're like 200, 300 ringgit is like about that big of a Lego piece. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so
But I think the license does make a difference because I remember like when my son was young and he would be like, let's get the Spider-Man set. I'm like, why don't you get the Spaceman set? That Spaceman
It's
set is
cheaper.
nice because it's so much
Right.
cheaper,
Right.
And
And then also like because they only have them available for a certain period of time and then they like retire the product. So like a couple of sets that I bought recently was because they were going to be retired soon and I didn't want to, like, and I really wanted them. So like the Jurassic Park set and the roller coaster set, which I probably won't be building until next year. But they're retiring soon, so I just like, I have to get this before it costs a lot. I also most of my Lego sets are under the table. I picked up this set recently as well, the Ant-Man set.
what's this one? I've
Which
seen
is
this. Oh, okay.
This is a retired product. Like, it's not available on the Lego store anymore. I bought it on the Walmart website. But I got it from Walmart. But it wasn't actually from Walmart. It was from some other place. And I think I paid twice as much as what it would have cost earlier because I paid like $50 for it. And and it's only a 200-piece set, so like it should not have cost that much, but it's a retired product. But I got it because I don't have another like. I wanted Ant-Man. Like I don't have an Ant-Man Marvel
Right.
set, so I like it's like oh it's
And
fine.
they're
But like
not making another Ant-Man movie, so yeah.
yet. No, well, there's another one coming in a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like my thing when it's like I closed it anyway. Never mind.
Yeah. That's fine.
And yeah, so I ordered that, and then after it arrived, like I looked at the Walmart site again, and it jumped to like $95 or something. So I'm just like, well, good thing I got it when I did, when it was only
Right.
$45 or $50 or whatever it was.
Crazy. That's twice the price.
Yep. So that's what happens if you wait until after they've been
So it's kind of a yeah. they give you the pressure. It's like you better buy now. As soon as it comes out, you better buy it. Otherwise, the price is gonna go up.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they don't do that. Sorry.
I was going to say, if I hang on to my Lego sets that I just bought that are about to retire and I don't build them, then I'm sure I could sell them for a hefty profit. Except that's not why I bought them.
Yeah, actually,
honestly, that is why I bought the Millennium Falcon. Because I thought,
then why did you build it?
Because I got bored. I mean,
so next time you gotta buy two.
Oh my God, Sim. If only I could.
It's so expensive.
Okay, so at the time I bought it, I was like with this girl I was dating, and she was already like making so much noise, like, why did you buy it? It was so expensive. We could have gone somewhere, we could have traveled or whatever with that kind of money. I was like, no, it's gonna appreciate in price, baby. And then we can go twice around the world with the money that I make.
No, see, this is one of the reasons that I am fine with not dating anyone now. Like Zach, from your Joe Mama, the first episode of the Joe Mama Honest.
I saw that.
Show, you talked about
40 and single.
You've got more money now because you're not spending it on dates and stuff. And I was like, it's like that was the part. I was like, oh yeah, I hell relate to that. Because that's why I'm glad I'm single, because I can buy all this stuff and not have to worry about like the people being concerned that I'm spending.
Okay, so money. I have a question about this, Zach and Dom. I have a question about this.
Yep.
Why is it that two people living together cost so much, and then two people living separately cost so little? Like, technically, right? you bring the same amount of income to the, mathematically it should be the same, right? I mean, are you paying for all her expenses, or is she, or is it like living together just costs more?
I think for me, it was that kind of like, at that time the relationship was like I was the provider, she wasn't doing much. So, okay. And then it was just like, yeah, anything she wanted, like, I want. And I was like, okay, baby.
That was the case in my marriage as well. Like, I did not have a job for a great many years, and so I often felt guilty if I wanted to buy stuff myself, because I'm like, it's not my money or whatever. Even like I'm doing the like unpaid housekeeping and like childcare and all of that stuff, but I still felt like I'm not financially supporting myself. So what right do I have to spend money on?
You were too responsible. Basically.
But what's funny is like a friend who I met through, like, he was a friend of my ex-husband's, and like a few years ago I was going on a road trip and I'd saved a bunch of money, and so this guy had commented like, "Ooh, now you can buy Lego."
Right. Is that where the idea came from?
No, I mean, like, not specifically, but I still remember that, because like I check my Facebook memories and it comes up, and I'm just like, oh, that's funny. But Lego is not something that I ever felt like I could justify. It was easier for me to justify buying lots of comics, which probably ended up being like costing as much as buying Lego sets or whatever. But when you're buying it small amounts, then you don't notice how much you're actually spending versus a $300 Lego set.
So which is more expensive, the comics?
It depends on how much you're buying.
Right.
Oh my god, Dom. But I totally get you. Because I just found out there's only one comic book store left in the entire nation of in entire KL. It's in Damansara Jaya, by the way, Sim, near Atria. It's called the Last Comic Book Store.
I got a confession. Okay, I got a confession to make. When you guys were talking about comics the other time, you guys were streaming. Dom,
you
was
had
streaming.
no idea. It was just went over.
I was actually watching and lurking, but I didn't say anything because like I didn't want to like. I felt like the conversation would have been like, "How are you?" And then I'm gonna be like, "I'm good," which is a lie because at that time I had COVID, or I didn't want to bring up like having COVID and bringing everyone down. So I just lurked and I watched, but I was really like moved by Zak's story about losing all his comics.
Oh yeah. So depressing to lose that many. I've been working my way through Daredevil comics. So like on the side here I have volume 3 of Bendis.
I like Daredevil.
Daredevil run. I'm covering my name. my proper name, because the name that I stream on is not my proper name, because I borrowed it from the library. Because if I don't borrow these comics from the library, I would spend a fortune more on comic books than what I already do.
Oh yeah,
I did not know you could borrow from the library.
Yep.
But Malaysian libraries, Malaysia,
in the US,
you can't find anything good in a Malaysian library.
And being Malaysians, we can never you can never trust us to take good care of it. It'll just come back shit.
Well, so when I went to the comic book shop that I go to on Sunday, the clerk was like, he'd been checking out the Jessica Jones Alias comics from our local library in Oakland, and he was like, I only made it to volume 3, which they don't have. And I was like, I read Alias from the library, so someone must have stolen it since then. So check it out.
Yeah.
So people do steal stuff from the library here too.
It's like,
no, but
how much do I like this comic, and how much is my library membership like
worth? There's no fines at our library anymore.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
I don't think when you don't return something, you really go through that thought process. It's more like, I'll return it next week. Yeah, I think it's more like
you
that.
Forget. Yeah.
So how's it going now? Like, I see you making
Are you out with the set?
Yeah, just almost done, I think.
I'm getting there. Yeah. Slowly.
It's Thor's man cave.
I call it a bachelor pad. They do have video game. They have video games in this. Like Korg is holding a controller. I don't know.
Are they playing with New Master 69?
Yeah, that's the one.
You see, it's got a controller in his hand and a pizza, a slice of pizza.
So my roommate is dating a single mother, and occasionally she brings her daughter over, right? And then occasionally my roommate and the girlfriend would do stuff in the room and then leave me outside.
To look after the
Uncle Zak. You get to be Uncle Zak.
So I mean, there's so much I have in common with like these the 7-year-old girl. So one time I was playing Call of Duty, and then she's like, "Oh, what you doing?" And then with the bombarding of the questions, "What you doing? What you playing? Oh, why are you shooting like that? Oh, how do you blow up that guy? Oh, you suck." But then PlayStation has this like membership where you get 3 free games every month, and I downloaded this beat 'em up game. It's very similar to Final Fight. It's called Streets of Rage, and I couldn't just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Streets of Rage." So I was like, hey, young girl, would you want to play Bush Bush with me? Because that's the sound they make when they hit Bush Bush.
No, the actually fighting games are very easy for kids to get into because it's a lot of button mashing, right? And then sometimes you
Yeah,
just do
I
that.
didn't. I
Very
Yeah.
it
Super
didn't
Smash
register.
Brothers.
So it was just like when she was like, "Oh, how do I do this?" And then I was like, "You hit this button. How do I do that?" And then you just see her going, and then I'm like, "Hey, this girl's not bad." And then she got addicted to it. Like every time she comes over, she wants to play Bush Bush. And then the amazing thing is, I'm learning from her about the combos, like the super combos. I was like, "What? How did you do that?" So she's like teaching me. I was like,
Well,
wow.
you learn how to do the combos by just mashing the buttons, and you're like, "Oh, that was a cool move. How did I do that?" And then just
No, 'cause-
try and
Yeah,
recreate
because
it.
I just thought it was like just mindless, just hit one button and then just progress, right?
No.
And then
She
she's
would
like
have
doing
watched
all
a
this
lot
like,
of yeah, she would have like done a lot of research and
Oh,
watched a lot of
yeah,
YouTube videos like in between the trips to your place.
Definitely.
but that's the thing.
I'm not gonna tell Uncle Zach. I'm just gonna do it.
She doesn't know the real name of the game, which is Streets of Rage 4. She just knows it as Bush Bush. So then sometimes when it's her dad's turn to like watch over her, she's like, "So, oh, what do you do over at the other guy's place?" It's like, "Oh, I play Bush Bush with Uncle Zach." And he's like, "What?
I play Bush
What is
Bush.
going on over there?" So he's trying to find out what's the name of this game. What is this Bush Bush nonsense? It's like,
Doesn't sound good.
but
What would be some of the things that are similar between a fighting video game and something improper that Uncle does with a little girl?
well, I thought it'd
He's
be like
always he's always pressing the right buttons.
I thought it was inappropriate to introduce her to it, but it's really. I mean, I know it's kind of kid friendly, aside from like the jumping and then the uppercuts. It's not bloody. It's not gory, right? So I was like, okay, I can do this. I wasn't gonna introduce her to golf, that's for sure.
No, don't. Not anything with blood. I think it's.
I made a mistake a long time ago. I have to fix
Oh
it.
no!
Oh no! You have to take out. You have to undo.
I have to undo all of my progress. I didn't notice.
What did you miss out on?
There was this piece that needed to go like that.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
No, I did, because otherwise this would be like falling off.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually the same. Like even if I don't need it, I'm like, I'm gonna put it in there because I don't want this piece like just being by itself in a box somewhere and then like going missing. I can't stand it.
It's like assembling IKEA. You're like, what does this screw? Where does this one go?
It must be a spare. IKEA never gives you spares.
That's the worst. Like most I've had to undo a thing, but I got it on. So my issue is that this piece, I wouldn't have been able to have it click onto a block.
Oh, okay.
Or
Well, it wasn't so bad.
Like,
You fixed it.
I fixed it. I did fix it.
if
It
if
made it work.
only like constructing a house would be that easy, you know? It's like, oh, I missed it. Just take this whole wall off and
Right. Right.
uh,
Yeah, a Lego house.
hey, so
what
what's
we
the
need.
family doing right now, Sim?
Family. I think we okay. Wife is out somewhere. She's been out since she's been able to go out. Cause before I got COVID, she got COVID, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
then like 5 days later, I had it. So for about 5 days, I was just running around because she's like, "I'm dying. I need this. I need that." And I'm like, "Okay." And then she had to take care of me because she was feeling
Mm,
better, and then I got
mm.
it, right. But then yeah, and
That's
then
better than
that
both
was
having it at the same time.
yeah. I mean, I can't
And
imagine
then,
if both of us
and
had it.
then you'd have to have your son take care of both of you.
Oh, yeah, that would be a mess. By the time we come down, to the living room, to the dining room, I think the whole place would have been taken over by rats and cockroaches.
But okay, I am very curious though. What was your meals like? Like
We basically ordered meals in, and
okay,
yeah, that was what we
but
did.
your taste buds they were
Oh
still
yeah. I lost my taste buds for, I would say, more than a week.
okay.
Yeah, because the
Oh,
first day was just fever. I could still taste. Second day, I think I could still taste, and then the third, fourth, fifth day, I started to lose my taste, and then it didn't come back until like maybe a week or 8 or 9 days in. Yeah,
oh,
and then as soon as I got my taste buds back, I think about 10 days in, every day I have to enter like all the details in my Sajatra. It's like, what is my oxygen level? I had one of those things that clip to your finger and take your pulse and calculates
oh,
apparently your oxygen levels. So I had one of those. I took my temperature. I only had temperature on the first day. Although the second day I was still feeling feverish and achy, but the temperature was normal,
mm,
within the normal range. But I still feel like I have a fever. Third day was better. Every day was a little bit better, but I had this cough that was really stubborn, and it wasn't like I had a lot of phlegm or mucus or anything. It was just like I felt like coughing. There's something wrong with my lungs.
right.
It feels like, when you drink water and it goes down the wrong way, it goes into your airways.
Oh, right.
Like you're trying to drink and talk at the same time, and then that happens. Yeah, it feels a little bit like that. So it was like uncomfortable, like for just about like for about 2 weeks, but every day was a little bit better. And now
Mm,
now I'm fine. But actually, when my taste buds came back and my sense of smell came back, and I'm like, yeah, I can smell. At first, I was like, yeah, I can taste, but I'm not sure whether I can smell. And the next day, I was like, I can taste, I can smell. And then the My Sajatra app says like, yeah, you're low risk with some symptoms, because I still put like I'm still coughing a bit, so I'm like still the batuk. I was like, okay, other batuk.
right.
I still have the cough, right? So, but then the My Sajatra was kind of like, yeah, you're fine. You're low risk with symptoms. I'm like, what does that mean? Low risk with symptoms. It went from red to blue. So I'm like, does that mean I can go out? Is that what my Sajatra is telling me? So I'm like,
They're
I
not
had
very
this.
specific enough about what you're
We have
allowed
this
to do.
big box. I think that's what it meant. It was like, yeah, you're fine. But I wasn't sure, right? So I have this big box of test kits that we've been doing. So I was like,
Mm,
okay, time to test, I guess. Like, since my Sajatra says I'm kind of okay. So I did a
mm.
test, and then it was negative. I'm like, yeah, I think I better wait one more week. Now, yeah, that's when you called me, Zach. That's when you had that show. And
Oh,
thanks.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for that. But I was like, I didn't feel comfortable leaving the house just yet, because I was like, what if, this is a fluke and I still have some virus left? I'm like, okay, just maybe give it a few more days. And also, I was still feeling like I was always clearing my throat those last few
Right.
days.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is gonna be hard to, do a performance if this comes back in such a way. So I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, better give it a few more days. So that's why I turned you down. Sorry, Zach, but I really wanted
It's
to do
okay.
it.
Understood.
Yeah.
I'm just curious though, like if your sense of what smell and taste are gone, like do you really have to feed yourself, or can you just go ahead and? I mean, like I would have given up on life. That's. I was like,
No,
if
but
I can't taste food, just take me now, Jesus.
I did. I mean, it would have been nice to have something to look forward to, right? But
Right.
at the same time, I was kind of like in survival mode. I'm like, okay, just stick to the plan. It's boring as hell. I pretty much watched every single YouTube video that was out there, and I was getting bored of YouTube. Was how like how how much staying in my room there was, because we have a
But
guest room that
you
was
didn't
where I
pull
was.
a Kieran and watched what watched all of Pornhub.
Watch all of Pornhub. No, I was basically in survival mode, and I was kind of like, okay, the food doesn't taste anything fun, but I'm gonna eat it anyway, just to I need food to stay alive. And I,
Sustenance.
I I do feel hungry. I do feel hungry, so I'm like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I
All
am
right.
getting
Okay.
hungry, so I better eat something,
Uh,
even though it's tasteless. Um, and then the taste would start to come back, and then after a while I could taste saltiness again, and then after a while I was like, okay, spiciness, saltiness, I can taste. Sweetness, not so much. And then after a while, all the taste started coming back. Um, and yeah, so I was kind of like in this kind of mental space, I guess, where I was like, okay, what is important now is I don't infect the kid. My wife is already infected. But what is important is that like me and my wife, don't infect him. So I'm like, okay, I was washing my hands all the time. I was not
mm,
leaving my room. For the first week, I didn't leave my room. Seeming would just bring the food to my doorstep in the guest room, and I
mm,
would take it from there. And then after the first week, she was like getting bored of bringing food up, and I'm like, okay, I'll meet you downstairs, but I'll wear a mask as much as. And then we have a back patio that we can go to and eat outside. So we did
right.
that.
Mm-mm.
So the second week I was having breakfast there, having lunch there, and then dinner she would bring to my room lah. And so it was 2 weeks of being bored lah, basically. It just
I
I'm
got it.
like, okay, this is not about fun. You mean you can do something fun if you have the energy. But I also felt like the first few days I didn't have a lot of energy as well. So I was kind of like, yeah,
Sleeping a
just
lot.
just sleep. Yeah.
Well, you got a busy week ahead of you.
Yeah, this week I'm actually kind of nervous. I'm like,
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
saw
it's a
the
proper
post
show
for
this
Joke
weekend.
Factory.
I mean, the plan is always like, yeah, the mics is like, yeah, just go and have fun and maybe bomb a little bit. That's fine. And then the proper shows you gotta kill, right? And then now I'm like, I feel so rusty. I don't know if I still know how to do it, and I don't know how do you deal with this, Zach, and maybe Dom, if you have experience with performing
Well, I
improv
mean,
as well.
you
After staying
you,
home,
you
because of
were
the pandemic.
aware that I didn't perform for like 2 years in Malaysia, right?
Did you start recently again, or?
No, I haven't done. I haven't done any stand up in California. But I mean,
Okay.
when I started doing stand up in Malaysia, I think I started off really well. Like my first set, I was probably only supposed to do like 5 minutes or whatever at time out. KL. That was back when I was back in Havana. Um, and I think I did like 12 minutes. Nobody pulled me
I
off
think
stage.
I
just to
think
be
back then they
clear,
didn't
not
care.
Havana, Cuba, guys.
No,
Not
no.
Havana, Cuba.
The bar called
Yeah.
Havana. Is it just called Havana, or does it have like another like other
No,
words
just
in it?
Havana
Yeah,
Club.
let's look it up. Um, that's where Timeout Cow used to be. That show's
Back
not
then
happening
it
anymore,
didn't
right?
matter if you went over time, right? They were happy
No,
to have any
because,
performer.
because there was so few people. Yeah, nobody pulled me
Yeah.
off stage. I did like 12 minutes or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
my
yeah.
first time. But I think I also did reasonably well that night, so it was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because then,
Keep
you
going,
know,
keep going. Yeah.
the guys like invited me to do other shows. Like I did a show at Cap Square like the following week or something. Just 'cause so like I started off really well, and then by February the next year, 'cause I think it was October was my first show, October 2009. By February 2010, That was I took a break after that because I was starting to get noticeably pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And because I had this whole schoolgirl get up and stuff, and I'm like, I can't I can't do
Oh,
my
okay.
anime schoolgirl bit while pregnant. Like I just couldn't.
That would have been hilarious.
Well, it wouldn't have been the
Just
same
ignore. Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Just
No,
ignore it and just do it as you
just
always do
pretend
it.
that I'm not pregnant.
That would have been another layer of what's going on, you know?
It was hard. It was a hard time of my life anyway, just in
Oh,
general.
okay.
Like anyway, so I took a long break, and it wasn't until 2013 that I got back on stage. So that's like 3.5 years I was
Oh,
not on
yeah.
stage
Right,
in
right, right. I think that's when I saw
in
you.
Malaysia. So like most of the guys that we hung out with after One Mic Stand and stuff had never seen me before, and I was just like there all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
Yeah,
didn't know me in the other context, like
yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah.
performer.
Years
Um,
later, I saw you. So,
yeah,
but okay. So, how did it feel like not performing and then like performing again?
it was hard getting back on stage. Like I'd completely lost my confidence. Like, I mean,
Right. That's what I'm feeling now.
I think part of it was also the fact that I was in a shitty marriage at the time, and
Right.
um, and I didn't know how to. I'd lost my confidence in myself as a result of being
Right, 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 right.
in
Yeah.
that situation. And it wasn't until I started to connect more at a more friend level with the guys that were performing, who started performing after I did.
Yeah, like me.
that I felt that I felt like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot again, because people were encouraging me to actually get back on stage.
Oh.
But it took a while.
Yeah, you were good friends with Au- Augustine.
Augustine
Yeah.
days.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. He I think he was always encouraging you to go back in on stage, right?
Yeah, well, yes, but I don't. He might had he left the country by the time I actually got on stage again? I don't remember like the
I
timeline
don't
of all
remember
of that.
as well.
I don't know that I got back in stage before he left the country, but he and I connected mostly, I think, because we were both foreigners.
Right, 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 right.
So it was easier to kind of connect on relate on the foreigner level.
Yeah.
What was the other I guess was he from Ghana as well?
Oh, you're talking about
No,
Khalid, was
Kenya.
it?
Khaled was from Kenya.
No.
Or are you talking about
Oh,
Khalid is from
Ismail.
Tanzania. No,
Ismail
no,
was from
Ismail
Sudan, I
Ethiopian.
think?
Okay, hang
Oh
on.
yeah, there was an Ethiopian guy as well.
He's a really I hate to say he's a really skinny, scrawny guy from Africa.
Wait, that's Captain Khalid, right? From
No.
No, there was an Ethiopian guy as well. I don't remember his name.
Oh wait, Youssef. Wait,
No,
is it?
he's Egyptian.
There were a lot of
Just-
foreigners who did comedy in Malaysia.
Yeah, so I don't know why you feel like.
Why specifically Augustine? I don't
No,
know.
I
guess
mean, I didn't mean it like
Like-
that. So I didn't know why you felt left out, because there were a lot of.
I think it was hard for me to be the one to like approach and because I was, because of my shitty marriage, like I'd kind of grown into myself and not and because I'd lost all this confidence, I didn't feel like it wasn't easy for me to like start a conversation, right? That shitty marriage plus not knowing that I was autistic and like having all this social anxiety and stuff as a result of that. But Augustine was someone who approached me, and so it was easier to connect because he approached me, and he didn't judge me for. I never felt judged by him for the fact that I was openly polyamorous.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
I think
Whereas I felt like it was a little bit more of a struggle to talk about that with some of the
right.
Malaysians.
Yeah.
Which is very hypocritical because we believe in four wives.
Right. So it's okay for men to have multiple women, but it's not okay for women to have multiple men. And I think that was part of the issue. Like it felt like that. Um, yeah, which brings me to the other thing that you kind of brought up at the end of the last stream, Zach, about how your friends were interested in the fact that this white girl was paying attention uh, to the Joe Mama shows,
Oh,
and
right.
because I never felt like white girls had the same kind of treatment or appeal as what white men have in Malaysia, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
I didn't feel like I had the same status in terms of like put up on a
Right.
pedestal, like you have to hook up with someone who's white. Like white girls in
That's
my
interesting. Yeah.
in my experience did not have the same kind of thing.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
But maybe it was
So
just because
it's
I was
like
married. I don't know.
right. So it's like for white men, it's kind of like, wow, this is a white man. Whereas with a white
Because he's
woman,
he's
it's
got
kind
the
of like,
money,
yeah, that's
right?
a different flavor. Yeah.
Because a white man is assumed to be rich, but I don't think that
Right.
there's the same kind of assumption of a white girl. It's not. What?
I could
Zach's got something to say.
I could say like, okay, so a white man, like he would spend his money on you, but a white girl, you have to spend the money on her.
That's probably it.
And she's high maintenance.
I'm sure there are whole loads of assumptions there. No, I mean
Okay.
I did have married men who expressed interest, and I'm like, dude, don't cheat. Um, and so that was a thing. Like, cheating seemed to be okay, but not being open about it was
Right.
like being open about it was like taboo.
Right. So
Anyway.
it's okay to have extramarital sex as long as you're lying about it.
Yes.
Right.
Like
Yes.
that was the
Okay.
impression I got
Right.
from my experience. Hopefully that's not actually the case in
Around the world.
that would
No, I think it probably is. And I don't think it's limited to Asia as well. I think probably it's easier to lie than to deal with the wider community's disapproval. Yeah.
Yes.
I saw on Steve Harvey. I know, like Steve Harvey, right?
Okay.
But Steve,
Which one is this? Okay.
his shows like where he takes questions from the audience, and usually the female audience members are always asking, "Why my man like that? Why my man like this?" And then Steve just like throws it back in their face, like, "Man, not like this," So
Yeah. I like that part of him. Yeah, he just comes up with it, right? Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, what he says about lying is true. Why do men lie? Is because we do not want to deal with the whole negative tone
Backlash?
of the response. That's it.
Mm.
So that's
You're
why men lie.
cowards. You're cowards. That's so cowardly.
Well, who does that though? I mean,
Look, you can
What's
have
that you're building?
shitty. I'm not sure at the moment. Oh, I think this is the TV and video game console. No, I mean you can have shitty. Be honest. Be in an open and honest relationship where you can hook up with multiple people and still it be shitty. So, it takes all types.
Yeah.
Take some tabs.
I spent a lot of my marriage just wanting to find a guy to take me away from my ex-husband without telling anyone that that's what I wanted, because I didn't
Right,
want to
right,
admit that that's what I wanted.
right. In the end, it was up to you to
Yes.
do it yourself. Yeah.
Mhm. I think it worked out better as a result, saving myself rather than feeling like I needed to be rescued by a man. I
Yeah,
think that's more
'cause
empowering. I took more control over my life, got to
yeah.
actually get a job, and now I can buy Legos all the time.
Yes. Do what
What?
you want with your money. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's awesome. Hey Zach, I
Mhm.
still want to ask you the same question. Like, so after a long time of not performing, and then you start performing again, how do you like? Do you have to deal with some confidence issues, or did you
Oh
was it
yeah, for
okay?
sure. Um, it was like Friday night. I think my friend Adam C was in the audience,
Mhm.
so he likes to give it to me straight. So
Okay.
he said like you can tell you were struggling in the first part, but then after that you just took off. And I
Right,
think the
right,
part
right, right,
where I took off was when I had that really that first applause break, and
right,
then
right, right, right.
I think it was just that reassurance that said, like yeah, I still got it,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. It's
yeah, and then after that it was just like
that's
all
awesome.
that overthinking just went away, and then just like pop every joke hit, every timing. Like, it was good. Like I think I preferred my first night performance to my second night performance.
Oh, cool. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So
It takes a little
um
while to warm back up again and get back into the swing of things.
I
yeah.
feel that sometimes it's like the first night. It's like especially if like I haven't been performing throughout the week, right? And then it's like, oh, the weekend is here. The first night I perform, I'm like, how do I do this? And I'm trying to figure it out. And then when I do figure it out, it's like really exciting. And then like it's magical. And then the
Mm,
second night, I'm very mechanical. I'm like, okay, last night you did this. You put your hand here. You said this, and then you said this other word. It's very mechanical, and then like they can tell.
same. Yeah. I was like, okay, last night that joke worked, this joke didn't work. I'm gonna replace it.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened was the first night I did like maybe a good 5 minutes of new material, and everything hit except for the last joke was, which I mean, I don't know if I can say it here, but like it made everybody say ooh, right?
Oh, okay.
Even Joanne and Coven who were listening backstage, they were like, "Damn, you said that." Um, but I covered it.
Okay. Okay.
I said, "Oh, that's where we draw the line, all right, guys." So, but sex jokes, oh, that's all right.
Right, right, right.
um, so I switched that on the second night. I didn't do
Did,
that joke.
right,
Sorry.
right, right. So did you okay when you do that? Do you like okay now I gotta tell another joke? Did you do that or you just
Basically,
okay?
yeah. I was just it
Okay.
was just more like acknowledge, like I acknowledged it. I kind of like made fun of myself a little bit, and then just got them back. Yeah,
Right, right, right.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I'll tell you the joke when I see you in person. But
Okay, okay,
let,
okay.
let me see
Not something
how.
to share over a stream.
I'm tr-
So
I have
yeah, 'cause
mic to
I
do
mean,
tonight. Yeah.
sorry,
I'm
what?
trying to work on some jokes as well. Some but then I don't know, I have like bits and pieces that kind of like out of context and then it's like I gotta find like the other pieces that fit together with them and yeah, I
Mm,
just got lots of small pieces now.
like I'm trying to hit the open mics more often now. Like, and I find I'm more nervous with the open mics because I
Uh,
it's one thing to be nervous in front of an audience member in front of strangers, right? But then like in front of your peers, like, wow, okay, ooh,
Oh,
like
that's the pressure. It's like,
that's
okay,
that's
everyone's
the,
doing well. I
yeah.
better do well. Is that the pressure?
It's not like everybody's doing well. It's like, oh,
It's
Zach,
harder to make your peers laugh than it is to make an audience laugh.
it is,
Like they're judging you in a different way.
But no,
I
but
have to
our
admit,
peers are all performers and writers. So I don't really feel like I can take their laughter as feedback so much, because very often they'll give me the wrong feedback. I find. They'll laugh during the setup, and then they're like, oh, he's doing a new one, and then they'll laugh during the setup, and then I think like, wow, okay, I got something here, and then turns out it's like the punchline isn't that great, and then I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? And then sometimes like they wouldn't laugh, but then the audience laughs because it is a good enough joke for the audience, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, maybe they are thinking about something else. Yeah, so it's very inconsistent. Like it's very different from the audience feedback, I find.
I understand, but I feel
Yeah.
more judged amongst our peers. Like,
Right.
for me, it's just like, Zach's been in the industry for this long. That's the
Yes,
best
I
that he
feel
can
that.
come
Yeah.
up with.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
and so many times I just wish, like, man, I wish I started later, or man, I wish like these
No,
guys started earlier with me or something.
No, I
do
mean,
you wish you can? Yeah. No. Go ahead, Dom.
oh, I was just gonna say, like when I finally got back on stage in Malaysia again, then I was only doing 3-minute spots compared to I had previously been able to do like 12, 15-minute spots because nobody
Yeah,
else was
because
doing comedy back then. And then
yeah, because
then you have to
they
compete,
yeah.
and then I sucked because like it's harder to narrow it down to do because you have to do shorter jokes or like one long joke, like to fit everything that I wanted to say. It was, and that made me nervous in some ways, I think. Once I got back into the swing of things, I think I did better. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
you
I
just
did.
need that one reassurance that it's like, hey, it's all right, and then
I
you
recently rewatched my last performance in Malaysia before I was starting this this stream stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I made that joke, and so I made it private. So I'm just like, I don't
Right,
want
I
people
have that.
watching
I have that.
this video. I'm like,
Yeah.
I made a I don't know if I should talk about this. I'm like, here's this white girl making a joke about the size of penises in Malaysia, and I'm just like, why? Why would I think that that's okay?
No, but it's I think it's from growing older as well. You that happens. You kind of
realize
look
that
back and it's like,
it's not
okay,
appropriate.
this used to be really funny to me, and now something else is funny, and this is not as funny. So yeah.
Yeah. I had well, I mean, it was my setup for it got a bunch of laughs, but then yeah, I should have left it there. Right?
Okay.
'Cause
It's one of those. Okay.
I'd made this joke that the thing that got a bunch of laughs was me saying that now that because my ex-husband moved to California before I did, and so I made this joke about how I was suddenly having more sex now that he wasn't there.
Okay. So, but then you have to kind of explain the whole context of it, right? So it's like, yeah. Because that would like raise a lot of questions, which is like you don't want to raise questions when you're trying to do something simple like comedy.
Who is this person that's commenting?
You... Hello, Togo. Tug of Pup. Tug of Pup Crawl
Tug of Pup.
Wars. I don't know.
How did you get lucky?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's not the person I was talking about in the joke.
Okay. But okay, Zach, you said like that was very interesting what you said. So do you ever wish, because I do sometimes, where I can just come back to the state of mind of like when I first started comedy and there was no pressure, and I just wish I could get back to like how much fun I was having, and there's no like this, oh, Uncle Sim's been doing comedy for 9 years, like this is the best he can come up with, like you said just now. It's kind of like
Mm,
I wish I didn't have that. And
mm,
I'm sure it's all in my head. I'm sure like probably like nobody's thinking that except like I think they're thinking that.
mm.
Like, can I, like, I wish really that I could come back to like, wow, the first time I performed, I got 3 laughs and I was so happy. And, you know, and I wish I could have that back.
Yeah. I
No.
mean,
I
it does take the pressure off. Like honestly, when I started doing stand up, I was writing more. I was just coming up with like different types of jokes, what work, what doesn't work, and I was fearless. I like, you know,
Yeah.
I it's like I don't care what people think. I'm just doing it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss that guy, right?
Yeah.
But lately it just like stand up when I switch. I think it's when I switch to like what it made me it made like I wanted to make it my career.
Oh,
uh
right.
I think that's when the pressure is mounted, and that's when it just stopped. Like I okay, I can get by with this. It's like to come up with jokes, it's very hard. Like what
Yeah.
sometimes like
That's not going to work.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Don't
yeah.
why
waste
I
your
do
time on that
improv
one.
now.
Yeah.
and
That's why
and
I'm
the,
an
Right.
improviser instead.
and
I
then
don't
the
have to worry
hardest
about
part is
money. Sorry.
polishing it. It's just like trying to figure like how I expanded like say my okay, perfect example is my Chichat Man joke, all right, about the
Right.
Malaysian superhero.
Right.
That was literally a 2-minute bit when I
Mhm.
started it, and it
Mhm.
ended with just Chichat Man doing like he can't do like real Hollywood movies. He can just stick to pornos. That's it, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
then
Right. Right.
I'll
Yeah. Yeah.
just do some sexual gesture, and then that's it. Then I
Right.
expanded it. I gave it like the opening scene with like what will happen in the in the porno, and then I expanded
I
that into like
And I like the
like
touches you like the very nice touches you put in the whole story as well. Like when
yeah.
the lady looked at her chest and like she spilled sauce on her chest and she looked down and she said, I like that. I was like, that's a really nice touch. All those things you added.
So that yeah, so for that joke to be like polished, it just like I think it took me about 2 years to polish that joke. Now I'm
Right,
I'm
right.
thinking about now that's the pressure I'm putting on myself right now. Say, okay, look, I come up with a joke now, I make it like a 2-minute bit, and then what? It's gonna be 2 years before I can really polish it, and then that's
But
that's the
if that's
thing.
the time, then that's the time, right?
Yeah, but you want it out now, 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 now.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
probably
because
why someone like
it's because
Ronnie
you're
Chang.
famous.
Well, like you look at Ronnie Chang, right, and he's had the opportunity to perform like 7 nights a week in New York once he moved to New York. So when you live in a place where you can perform that frequently, you can it's faster to get to that point, right? But when you
Right,
live in
right.
somewhere like Malaysia where there's not as much opportunity to perform that frequently, then of course it's going to take longer.
I think it helps if you have written a lot and you have a lot of material before you get famous as well. I mean, Ronnie got famous pretty quickly, but at the same time, it's not that quickly because he did write a lot of material. So I think when he was in Australia, he did like a few hours already, right? He already had like at least 2 DVDs out already.
Mm,
And then he started opening for Bill Burr in the US, and then he did the Daily Show, and then and then basically he lives in New York now. By that time, he's like, okay, I can bring all my stuff over from Australia. You know what works here, what doesn't work. We'll try it out. So I think it helps. Whereas if like in the case of someone who just like, oh, okay, I wrote 15 minutes. It's awesome. And then it goes viral, let's say, on the YouTube. It can be kind of a two-edged sword as well because like you haven't written anything else. Now all of a sudden
Right.
everyone wants you to write your first hour. You try your best, you come up with your first hour. Hopefully it's good. And then they want you your second hour. What more? What's next? And then that's gonna be hard to deal with, I think.
Mhm.
I often
But-
like ask myself like if I was to get a Netflix special, would I put Chichat Man joke in there?
Okay, what do you think? What's the answer?
I would like the
Go for the R rating.
the proud comedian would say, "Dude, fuck it." But like the one guy who just wants that Chichat Man joke out there, just do it, bro, just do it.
No, okay. I think the question. Okay, this is what I think. I think the question you shouldn't ask your fans who are your fans now. You should ask someone who is, because Netflix is. When we think about Netflix, it's like we want to make it abroad, right? I don't know if that's the goal.
Right.
So
right.
like you should
Not
ask someone
necessarily.
who has never watched, like someone who's never watched Chichat Man, whether they understand the joke and whether it's still funny to them.
Right.
Yeah, ask them that, and then if they like it, then you put it in, right? I don't know.
Right.
That's how I would think about it. Because if you ask your fans who are like have been watching a lot of you, they'll tell you all your classics, and then is it put this in there, put that in there, and then
Yeah. I get you.
yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. But I think the joke is very self-explanatory. I mean, like, because I do describe
I think so.
who Chichat Man is, right? It's just that
I think so, but I know who Chichat Man is, and I think Dom knows who Chichat Man is. So it's kind of like we can't be part of the sample. We can't be part of the sample.
right, yeah.
For your focus group, yeah.
I gotcha. Are you done, Dom?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
is
I
this-
mean,
Oh, show us.
it was on display, but the Lego camera is not
Yeah,
working right now. So, oh wait,
It's gonna work now.
I'll
if
show
you
it
turn
on
it on.
display anyway. It's probably
okay.
easier.
Hey.
Yeah, that's awesome.
bachelor
What's the
pad.
purple thing on the floor? Is that two hits?
It's
What is
Mike.
that?
It's Mike,
Remember the
the
guy
other
that got
alien
messed
that
up?
Korg is
Yeah.
always holding.
Oh, okay. Kind of forgot.
And then there's a sign as well.
I wonder how they get like internet in Asgard. Like
I think
New
this
Asgard?
wasn't New Asgard like on Midgard? Though?
Like yeah,
new Asgard is on Earth. Okay, cool. Got it.
it was like Norway.
It's
or
just it's just a little loft in Europe or somewhere. In Oslo.
Wow. So how was it? Like easy?
Yeah, this was a pretty easy set to put together. But I still like all the detail, like putting the stickers on like the pizza boxes and the game screen on the TV because they're playing video games.
So I guess the
love
question now
detail
is
like that.
I guess my question would be only for Zach, which is what is for lunch? Because you're are you still having a meal? You're going straight to bed.
Me? Oh yeah, no,
It's super
I'll
late.
go to bed soon. It's 10:22.
I'm not sure what I think my wife ordered something for lunch, but I don't know what it is. So it's a surprise. What are you having, Zach?
I just ordered some pies, some chicken pot pies.
Nice. Chicken pot pies.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's something different, something with like texture instead of having because I just been doing like rice, broccoli, and chicken,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just
Chicken
wanted
pot
something
pies.
crunchy. And last night I
Yeah.
made like really great, like I don't know, there's something about sandwiches is just so satisfying. When you have the squishy middle, and then you had the crunchy outside, and then you just bring all that flavor in together.
Sandwiches is something, yeah, if you make it yourself, it's nice. I would never order a sandwich to be delivered to the house because it's gonna be all soggy.
Oh, right,
it's
right,
soggy by
yeah.
the time
For sure,
you.
for sure.
I've ordered burgers like that, and it's been soggy when it arrives. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing burger delivery.
Yeah. Yeah, burgers doesn't work as well.
Mm, Oh, speaking of sandwiches, I just found out that at Subway, they don't use fish in their tuna mayo.
What do they
What?
use?
Yeah,
They use dolphin? What did they put in there?
No, it's shark
There's
fin.
They club
there
some
was no
seals.
signs of tuna whatsoever in tuna mayo. What in the tuna mayo?
Really?
Yes.
So what's in there?
Yeah.
Some
That is-
horses?
Oh
Oh my god.
dear.
I
That
haven't
was
eaten
my-
Subway. I haven't eaten Subway in years. I just feel like this food is always left out in the open for the whole day, and I'm like, one day I just like, and then one day I got sick eating Subway, and I was like, okay, that's it.
I can't even remember the last time I had Subway. I don't think I've even had it since moving to California. That's how long it's been. Maybe I have. I don't know. I don't remember having any time recently.
Yeah. I don't think the Subway like I used to eat it, and then I was like, and I got sick, and I was like, yeah, this is a bad idea. This concept doesn't work in a tropical country, where it's hot. It's
Po'
just
boys
leaving
are
food
better.
out.
I will say
Yeah.
po' boys are better.
What is it?
The po' boy
What's
I was
better?
talking about earlier. The
Oh, the po' boy. Right,
Louisiana's
po'
version
boy.
of a
Washington Post says Subway's tuna is not tuna, but a mixture of various concoctions. USA Today, is Subway selling real tuna or is it fake? Test
Mystery
finds
meat.
no tuna DNA.
Oh my god.
So there you go.
Okay, so but they can't tell you what DNA in.
Yeah, no, it's like, I'm like skimming through it. Yeah.
Maybe it's other fish. Maybe it's some local fish.
Hopefully it's other fish. But maybe it's
Like
like
mackerel.
maybe it's like the parts of the chicken that chicken nuggets are made of.
It's the Subway employees
Oh god.
who went
Oh.
missing.
Oh,
No.
That's terrible.
Wow.
Just some dark thoughts sometimes. You know what? I also feel what you say, Zach. That like some days I'm like, this is not funny. I'm very picky about like the premise of the joke.
yeah.
Do you get that? I don't know. It's been getting worse and worse lately. And then I find that, okay, the part of the days where I'm feeling chirpy, like in the mornings, I'm like, okay, that's when I'm going to write, because I know that by nighttime I'm tired and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's a terrible joke. And yeah, I'm not going to give anything a chance.
You have a time of day that's the best time to write jokes.
The best time of day where I feel like there's hope in life, and like yeah, that's when I write jokes.
See, if you get into improv and you perform improv instead, you don't have the same problems because you don't have to write your jokes in advance. If you do write your jokes in advance, you're not an improviser.
Although, yeah. Although I will say that sometimes I'm so frustrated that I say something super frustrating, or I post it on Facebook, and then I'm like, hey, that could be a joke. Because the other, when Seeming was had first gotten ill, and she was just not satisfied with everything, and she thinks she's gonna die any minute, and like I'm like, you're not gonna die, you're complaining so much, obviously you still have a lot of strength. and then she was just being real difficult, and I was like, this thought came into my head, and I just posted it on Facebook, which was Like you ever wake up and you think to yourself, today is the first day of the rest of my life. Fuck me. So that was the thought I had. And I'm like, now I'm thinking like, oh, what other cliched sayings are there out there that I can give a little plot twist to the end? And I'm kind of collecting that now.
I think I
Uh,
remember you making that post, and I was like, "Yep, nope, I don't have that thought at all."
Yeah. That must have been something I wrote at night, I think. That's not like the morning me, that's like the nighttime me.
I feel like half of my social media posts is just me showing off how much of a dork I am. Uh, like
oh,
me being a dork on Instagram, those like selfies and stuff, or um, posting about all my nerdy interests that hardly anyone ever comments on. I'm just like, I have to talk about this Daredevil that I'm reading right now.
Why do you like Daredevil? I gotta ask.
Well, I mean, I first got into Devil, I guess. I watched the Ben Affleck film. That was my first like
Okay.
introduction to him.
Okay.
Then I watched the Netflix series, which I only watched for the first time this year. And
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm finally reading the comics. I had encountered him in other comics like that he was like I guess part in, or like he was part of Brian Michael Bendis's New Avengers for a while as well. So like, and I'd seen him in Jessica Jones and stuff, but it's only now in the last like month ish, I think,
Right,
that I
right, right,
started
right.
actually decided to dig into to reading back
Right.
issues, back
I
catalog of stuff.
because when I was a kid, I liked Daredevil. I mean, I like lots of superheroes, but he was also one that I really liked. I think
I I
what
I
was
I
in
I
yeah.
I tweeted about it, I think yesterday or the day before, and um, I feel like I especially like the legal, like when
Oh,
he's in
okay.
the like in a trial or whatever. I like those issues, and I think part of that might be because like I used to watch things like Law and Order and
Right,
other
right,
like
right.
legal shows with my mum.
Oh, so there's a little bit of
So
that.
there's that side of it. Um, I think his powers are pretty cool considering he's like blind. Like that's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so
I like
he's an
that.
interesting character. I think it's I find it amusing that he, despite the fact that he's blind, he only hooks up with attractive women, and like he's he's such a player.
uh, that's how he gets them. Hello.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's real interesting. Yeah, it's like you're not benefiting from this. Yeah.
But he's such a player.
Yeah, that's real interesting.
But so I'm just reading Brian Michael Bendis's stuff now and learned he got married. And I'm like, how did I not know this? I'm like, of course, like I
Oh,
didn't read
okay.
this
All right.
before, but he
Okay.
married someone. He married a blind woman.
Oh,
Um,
he didn't marry Electra?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think
Ah,
they ever got
man.
married.
The
Maybe
one that got
later
away.
on.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah, I don't know.
I
I don't
I
know if
think
that happened
what I
after this.
as a kid, what I liked was he was sort of in between like one of those superheroes with no superpower
Mm,
and kind of like one of those that are, like without too much superpower. He was kind of like in between. It's kind of like, well, he trained himself to do all these
yes,
gymnastic things and
right,
fight, right? So that is
Mm.
kind of like that's not a superhuman part of him. That is kind of like the
right.
human part of him. So it's like he worked real hard for this. So he kind of like as a kid when you're young and you're not worn out by life yet, it's kind of like, well, maybe if I work really hard, I could do all these things that he can do, right? Yeah. But then when he had to fight
That's
with
fat
other
Logan.
people, he had a little bit of an edge because he also had this other superpower, which is like he's got his radar sense, right?
Mhm.
But
Um,
it's like I think it's his lack of fear that because like the man without fear.
Yeah.
That's
right.
why he's called Daredevil. That so because he cannot see, he just just jumps into things like head first.
Like you,
I also think that his like crisis of faith. The fact that he's Catholic is an interesting part of his
Oh, okay.
storyline because that's not something that you don't see a lot of religious superheroes like in general,
No,
right?
it's
Um,
yeah.
so I think that aspect is interesting as well. I mean, I was raised Catholic, so um, I have some context for it.
Okay,
Mm.
okay.
Even though I
Yeah.
do not currently identify as religious, but I have the context for it. So,
What is
yeah,
your favorite superhero, Zach? Sorry, Dom, I cut you off.
that's okay.
You were gonna say something else. Apart
You
from
gonna
Chit Chat
say
Man.
something, Dom? Oh, gee. I would. Um, I mean, I know if I say this guy, you'd be like, oh, he's just like one of those like just
It's not
on
Superman,
board.
is it?
No, actually, it's Spider Man.
Spider Man's great. Yeah, Spider
Spider
Man's
Man
great.
is
Also
Which
one of my
which
favorites.
version of Spider-Man? Peter Parker Spider-Man?
Oh,
Miles
okay.
Morales Spider-Man?
Peter Parker, like the original. Hello.
The original.
Uh,
No,
Original
no,
flavor.
I suspected, but I didn't want to presume. So
yeah, I remember watching like because when my babysitter just made me watch TV, and then like I remember watching the 70s. Was it the 70s or the 80s version of Spider live action Spider-Man series, where the guy is just like slowly walking out like that. But it
I
was
never
I
just
watched that.
I
for me
watched
it was like the coolest thing. I was like, wow, okay, I love Spider-Man. And then when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man came out, I was like, wow, this is actually the most like
a whole
comic
other
book
level.
like comic
Yeah.
book like Spider-Man that I've ever seen
Oh yeah.
translated into live action. And I was like, wow, so excited. And then it had that dark tone. And then I think my favorite of all the Spider-Mans that came out, I think Tom Holland's one just really hit it out of the park,
Right.
like in terms of
I
the perfect Peter Parker and the perfect Spider-Man.
I also watched the 80s. I think I watched a movie like in the 80s, 70s or 80s. They made a movie. I watched it in the 80s when I was a kid. And I felt the same way as you. I was like, wow, this is cool. This is something fun to watch. Even though like Spider-Man moved really slow, he's kicking the villains real slow and all that compared to today's standard, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I like the Spider-Man movies, even the Andrew Garfield ones I like,
Oh
Tobey
yeah,
Maguire
yeah.
one I like. But then I didn't watch the Tom Holland one because at that time I was busy, and I think my wife took my son to the cinema to watch, so they watched it. So my son is like, "Oh yeah, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man." So I was like, "Yeah, okay, this is just some fanboy stuff like that I don't get." And then recently, because I was stuck in at home, I was stuck in the guest room, right? Because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch everything on Netflix. So I watched Spider-Man, Homecoming, right? Is that the one?
Mm,
The first Tom Holland one. And I'm like,
yeah.
wow, this is so good. It's so good because in all the superhero movies, the superhero has a plan. He's like, I know how to defeat the bad guy. I'm gonna use this trick or what. This guy, Tom Holland, he has no idea how to be a superhero. He's failing at life. He's failing in school, and I love that. I love that part about it. And he's got this, like, he's got to fight this guy, and he has no idea. It's like this guy's stronger than him. This guy he knows his identity, and and it's like he's gonna come after him, and he's like, but I gotta do it. And it's like, that means I'm gonna miss prom. I'm gonna, I'm gonna, my friends are gonna hate me. Everything that I wanted to do, like, I gotta put aside, and everything's gonna fail because I have to do this thing that I don't even know how to do because, like, it's beyond me. It's so overwhelming. I don't know how to do this, but I have to do it. I love that about that.
Yeah, I think
It's so much like life, right? It's like
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
And I mean, despite having all this great superpowers, he still has like ordinary problems like us, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
like trying to keep up appearances with the girlfriend or trying to please everybody at work or what. So it was just great. It's great. That's
And
why I love Spider-Man.
I think that's probably part of the appeal for any of like the teenage superheroes and stuff. Like I like to read Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel stuff.
Mm,
Oh,
mm.
okay. Yeah.
The Young Avengers, like those characters are cool. Like all of the like younger ones, they have some interesting
Awesome. Yeah.
stories and stuff.
It's
But I
like
think
a coming of age
yeah,
story mixed in with some
some
have to
superhero
save
stuff.
the world plotline. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think for me, part of the appeal, like I mean, I I imagine that this is the case for a lot of people. Like no matter how old you are, you still like that time of your life was
It stays
such a
with
lot
you,
of
right?
change, right? Yeah, it stays with
Yeah.
you, and however you were at that age, stays with you. And you're like, oh man, I wish I had known like what I know now when I was back then, and then I could have done
Yeah.
like all of this other stuff. Like you just
Yeah.
imagine, oh man, if I was like that when I was that age, this would have been
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
You have to
I-
do some stupid things, I think. Yeah.
I was such a naive teenager, but also like I mean, I tried to fit in for a little while, and I was like, yeah, I'm failing at this. I just started to, because I got into stand-up comedy when I was 15 years old. I started
Oh, okay.
performing stand-up comedy when I was 16.
Wow.
So like I entered the like national raw comedy competition in Australia when I was 16. And that
Right.
was like my first time on stage.
Wow.
Mm.
I was the
In a pub.
opposite. I was the opposite of you. I was kind of like in my 20s, in my teenage years, as a kid, in my 20s, in my early 30s, I would say I was like trying to be cool, trying to fit in, trying to, do the so-called what society thinks is cool,
Expected.
going to the going to meet girls at a pub or whatever, which is it's a stupid idea.
Well,
And
see,
then
just quickly, when I
Yeah.
tried to fit in, like by listening to the music that supposedly everyone listened to, when I
Yeah.
tried to do that, people made fun of me anyway. I was like, well, screw you. I'm just going to do my own thing then. Like, even when I
right.
try to fit in,
Yeah.
it's not going to work for me. Like, you're going to hate me anyway.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll just do what I want.
So when I got into comedy at 42, I had all these stupid things that I'd done that I tried in the past, and all these stories about like my misconceptions about all kinds of things that are funny now, like all the
Mhm.
stupid things of me not fitting in, no matter how hard I tried. Those are good stories in hindsight. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I
It's-
can't say that I was a good comedian at 16. Like, I tried to do like smarter jokes and stuff. I had a lot of like wordplay stuff. I remember like making a matrix joke because I was doing matrices in mathematics in school.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That's a nerd. That's a nerdy joke. Yeah.
I'm just like, I wasn't great. Like, which is why it was kind of surprising that I once, because I had taken a couple of years break from when I had previously performed in Australia to when I performed in Malaysia. So the fact that I did better, much better, my first time in Malaysia, I credit to the fact that I had a lot more life experience.
Yeah.
And I must have figured out how to play to an Asian audience better than I ever did as a Australian to an Australian audience.
Yeah,
I
you
think it's
appeal
the
to
life
the Asian
experience.
audience by dressing up in your anime cosplay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And then I also introduced myself in Malay, and that helps, I think.
Yeah. You get
Yeah.
a lot of points for that one.
It's like, selamat datang. Nama saya Dominica. And everyone's like, whoa, she speaks our language.
I think I'm gonna head to lunch soon.
Well,
The
yeah, I
lunch
should
should have.
probably-
I was gonna say my food is
we should
downstairs already.
wrap this up.
Oh, okay.
I finished the Lego like however long ago it was.
Yeah.
I have kids to get to bed. They, my youngest one doesn't have school tomorrow, so it's okay.
Hey, are
Okay.
you guys celebrating Deepavali too, or what? Why
That's not something that gets really talked about in the US. I imagine our vice president will probably mention it
yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah,
if
yeah,
she
yeah,
if she
yeah.
hasn't already.
Yeah. Okay. I
Our
over
governor might. I
here,
think he kind
yeah.
of does stuff like that.
Over here, I don't know whether we're kind of still kind of in between, right? Zach, we're kind of like, are we going out? Are we not going out? What do
Yeah.
we go out for? So I don't know if there's a lot of invitations going out at the moment, but like usually we go to my former co-worker's house, but I don't think it's happening this year. But
Mm.
yeah. What about you, Zach?
No plans. Just oh, actually, this week is I just gotta be the groomsman for my
Oh,
friend's
okay.
my friend's wedding this weekend. So I just gotta prep a few things, and well, how hard is it to be a groom? Just sit there, be beautiful.
Awesome.
Exactly. You don't have to. If you're not the best man, you don't have to do a toast or anything, right?
Yeah.
Is it one of
Oh.
wait? Is
Ooh,
it one of those Chinese
But you do have to do
Chinese?
a toast.
sorry.
But it's not one of those Chinese like receptions or anything where
Oh
you have
no,
to
it's
pick up the bride, or is the
bro. It's 2021, bro. It's mixed marriage, Chinese and Malay.
no. I'm just saying because like the one where it's like, okay, we gotta pick up the bride from the house and bring her back, and then there's all kinds of games,
Oh
and
yeah,
we
yeah,
have to
yeah.
eat a wasabi sandwich, and then you gotta, I don't know
We
what you
did
have
we
to do.
did the tea ceremony last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was
Cool. So now's
always fun with
the
those
easy part.
those games. Ooh.
Well, does anyone want to plug anything before we go? In case anyone is still not
Okay, let
still
me try.
wondering. It says 3
Uh,
viewers,
I
but maybe
It's
it's
okay.
you
I
two.
will
Somewhere
I'll tell
else.
you. It's not, maybe if there's nobody else, but that's fine. I just want to tell you two anyway that since we're talking about Deepavali, which is Thursday, right? So I have, let me see, what do I have here? Okay, is it this one? Yeah, this one. Okay, let me see if I can show this. Can I show? Hang on, I gotta
You have the
show.
screen share option.
It's fine. I'll just do it on my screen. Okay, so on Thursday, my plan is to have a show at night. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Hang on a minute. Where
oh
am I?
yes, at
Yeah,
the Joke
Joke Factory.
Factory.
it's arranged by Mike Sadi at the Joke Factory, and I'm wondering why Mike is not in the show though. I thought he would give himself a spot, but he's not in the show. So
I think it's
what am I
because
looking? Wait,
because
what am I
he's
looking at here? Because he's what? Busy?
no because he's working for the club, so he can't really just.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, yep.
It's like he gives
Yeah, so
himself like a headliner spot. Like, hey, I'm gonna headline.
Oh, he's working for the club. Okay, yeah. So that's the one
show.
I'm at.
So if anyone is watching this and lives in KL and wants to go check it out.
Yep.
Mm.
So
It's
yeah.
8:30
So there's
PM.
Brian, me, Rakib, Harish, Shak, Mikhail. I'm really excited for it. I'm nervous, but I'm really excited for it because like I haven't seen everyone like forever. I mean I've spoken to Kiran and Prakash and Brian and Rakib online, but Harish I haven't seen in a while. Shak and Mikhail I haven't seen in a while. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Sounds good. Yep. I can't go because it's not going on Zoom
not
like
online.
the Crack House stuff is.
Yeah.
Like I watch the Crack House stuff over Zoom if I can.
Yeah.
I didn't
this
know
one is
any of the performers that on the last show that I watched, but I'm like, I'm going to support it anyway.
The last one would have been. Wait, who was
This
the last
past
one?
weekend.
Oh, Hindra and Russell, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
At the crack house, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. I'm sure it was a good show. Was it a
Yeah.
good show?
And Nat Kang was hosting. Yeah, it was fun.
Awesome.
I
Yeah,
just,
awesome.
I don't personally know any of the comedians that were performing.
Yeah. Well, you know them now.
No, I still don't know them personally. I know them in the context of
Like,
watching them, but
of
they
their
would
jokes.
have no
Yeah.
they would have no idea who I am.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Like if someone watches my set, they're like, "Oh, I know this. I know everything about Sim and his wife and his kid," even though we've never met. Right?
Yeah, and then they can start doxing you because
Yeah.
you've talked about it on stage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Zach, do you have anything to plug?
No, not really, because originally, like, I was supposed to well, I was asked to headline Crack House this weekend, but then, wedding duties. And then well, unless you guys want to join my friend's wedding via Zoom.
Is it being broadcast?
He's
Oh,
like,
yeah, give us the link.
who are all these people in the States?
give us the link. Yeah. Give us the link. We will go.
Well, I watched a friend's wedding over Facebook Live recently. My friend Mike Brown, who has been a guest on this show before, he did that. So, 'cause he got married in New York last month. Yeah, I think it was like the 1st of October or something. 5th, I don't know, early October. Yeah, my I would like to do another stream before 2 weeks from now, but I'm planning on doing a stream on the 12th, hopefully. No, the 15th, sorry, which is 2 weeks from now, so like 2 Mondays from now. That's when I'm planning on doing my Eternals Lego set and reviewing
Oh, okay.
the movie Eternals. When does Eternals come out in Malaysia?
This
I'm not
week?
sure.
Okay, so it's the same as here. So it comes out on Friday here. I have my ticket to see it on Sunday. I decided to leave it a week, like 2 weekends after it comes out, before I do a review show. So people will not have to worry as much about spoilers. They can watch.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I like. I've heard like people. I don't know. I've heard from my son that like maybe the reviews or the critics are not very
Here's the
like
thing, though. Like
enthusiastic about it.
People said the same. Like the critics said the same thing about Shang-Chi before that came out, and then Shang-Chi, like,
Okay.
blew box office records for the year and stuff. So, I don't judge by what the critics say prior to the general public.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna watch it, you should watch it and forget about. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like, oh, Kumail Nanjiani is one of my favorite comedians and is in it. So I'm like, I've got to watch it, right? I have to watch it. And then like same thing with Shang-Chi. I have not watched it, but like Ronnie is in it, Aquafina is in it. It's gonna be awesome, right?
And somebody says Terima Kasih in it.
I saw that. The durian head guy, right?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, I mean, like, okay.
Because they were in China and someone said Terima Kasih.
Yeah.
No, it's to show you how international that event is.
Yeah. I was like,
that was 2021.
That was the only thing that was not in English that I understood.
You know what I just did? I said it's 2021. We're a global village now, but then actually, and then I thought like, oh, it's 2021. Everyone is in lockdown. Nobody's going anywhere.
That's true.
So yeah,
that's true.
It doesn't make sense that there'll be a Malaysian anywhere outside of Malaysia.
Well, in that world, there's no pandemic. Clearly, Thanos destroyed the pandemic.
That's true.
It's not the same universe as ours. Well,
Yeah.
Thanos destroyed the people like that would have started the pandemic, and yes, they came back, but it was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see what the lunch is. I hope it's not a soggy sandwich.
Thanks
So-
for joining us and popping in, Sim. Wait, when you first said, "Hey, can I join?" It didn't sound like you're gonna
Yeah.
stay for the entire time. so-
I thought I was just gonna come in, say hi, how's it going, and then talk for maybe 10 minutes. But yeah, just had too much fun. That's what
no,
happens.
I love it. I love that you stayed, and it's been great, and it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for staying, Sam. Good to see you again, bro.
Good to see you, Zach. See you at the shows. And Dom, I'll see you at the shows when we're at the crack house. Not when we're at the
when you
joke
do a
factory.
crack house show. Well, see, this coming weekend, daylight savings is changing back.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's this
right.
weekend. So
So
that means if I want to catch a
16
crack house,
hours between us. Yeah.
that means if I want to catch a crack house show, I have to get up at 5 a.m. to watch it.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put Zach's comment in here, and we go.
Oh,
It
nice.
was fun.
Always got a comment, bro.
Mhm,
Leave
mhm.
a comment. Like and
I don't want to
subscribe.
miss out. I don't want to miss out.
Well,
Okay.
Sim's got a comment too. Here we go.
All right,
Okay.
Dom. Thank you again.
Yes, thank
Thanks,
you so
Zach.
much for joining. Good night, and
See
to
you,
anyone
Zach.
else who is still watching.
Good night, Dom. See you, Zach. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.